Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Critical Role, where a bunch of us nerdy-ass voice actors sit around and play Dungeons and Dragons. Case in point. Before we jump into tonight's game, we have some announcements to get through. So, first and foremost, we have our first of two sponsors for tonight's episode, beginning with our friends at D&D Beyond.
D&D Beyond!
What is it now?
Guys, finally, the election for presidency of D&D Beyond is officially open. Head over to D&D Beyond to cast your vote for real. Get special rewards just for voting, like character sheet backgrounds and portrait frames. Voting closes August 2nd during the live show at Gen Con during intermission. Go vote now at dndbeyond.link/CR election. Now, to wrap out the campaign, nothing too crazy tonight. We're just gonna, each of us, me and Liam, are gonna just read a brief closing statement. That's it. So, cue the stirring music. Sure. My fellow Sam-Americans, for months you have watched me compete for your vote. I've weathered insults, I've survived scandal, and I've pushed through far too long comedy bits like this one. I know that many of you think that I haven't taken this race as seriously as I should have. After all, the president of D&D Beyond is a real position that demands respect and true leadership. Which is why tonight, I have no gag. There's no comedy, there's no joke, no sound effects or master debating. There's no mime, clown, juggler waiting in the wings. Not the time, Max. Not the time. Tonight, I'm just gonna be real, all right? Hi, I'm Sam Riegel, an ordinary guy who wants to bring D&D Beyond into the future. Rules, structure, I get it, okay? It's important, but that spark that brings us to this table every Thursday night, the excitement of the unknown, that anything can happen in D&D, that's what this game that we love and my campaign are all about. Preserving the game, sure, but also evolving it and hooking a new generation of DMs and players. With this app, we can all build great encounters and great things together. I'm Sam Riegel, the kind of guy you'd want to hang out with at a bar while you sip a beer, and while I sip a 2015 Bryant Family Cabernet Sauvignon. I'm Sam Riegel, a man of the people. I put on my pants in the morning just like you guys, with one servant per leg and two more strapping on my girdle. I'm Sam Riegel, a regular Joe. When I get back from work, my dog, Zuckerberg, always jumps up and greets me at the airlock. My two lovely kids, James, I want to say Jim, and the girl, well, they're the love of my life, the apple of my eye. I couldn't do this without them. You know what? I think there might be a third kid, but don't quote me on that. I'm Sam Riegel. And no matter what you may think of me, I'm devoted every Thursday night for the past 18 months to shining a weird, wacky, musical, and sometimes clever light on the fine people at D&D Beyond. Why should I lead them? Well, because I literally have no other skills. So please, give me this chance to show what I can bring to this company, to this game we love, to D&D and beyond. Thank you. And God bless, you know what? It's just two kids. I think the third one was just over for a sleepover that night, and I got confused. But it's just two kids. God bless Sam America. Liam?
Cut the music, please. Cut the music!
What's happening? Oh no.
No.
Listen, folks, I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad under Regal's stewardship of D&D Beyond. The bits are getting longer and the prep time is getting shorter. Misinformed players are getting TPK'd across the globe. Matthew Mercer is hiding from Silly String under the table. His wife is punching players left and right, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the spots are unfit for broadcast and the details are factually incoherent, and we sit here watching our Twitch accounts while this organ grinder monkey would have us believe that D&D Beyond is about the yucks and how many dicks we can slide into the conversation as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy and nobody questions it anymore. We sit at our tables and slowly the game we enjoy is turning into romper room. And all we can do is say, please, I love this game so much. Just give me my half-orc and hit dice. I promise I'll listen to this madman's wine preferences and awful accent work week after week. If just Critical Role give me 10 minutes of actual gameplay this week, I guess that's enough. But I say that's not enough. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to write to Chris Perkins because I don't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about this man's ignorance of rogue mechanics, or the flagrant furball shooting, or the collusion with England, or the constant ego fluffing. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad.
Oh my God.
You've got to stand up and say, I'm a D&D Beyond user. God damn it, these stats have value. So, I want you all to get up. I want you to get up out of your chairs. All of you, right now, I want you to go and spam the Twitch chat. Get up and hammer that election box with your Johnson. I want you to create disgruntled fan art. I want you to get up and grab your computer, enable voice to text, and I want you to yell. I want you to yell, I'm mad. Mad! I want you to yell, I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to take Sam anymore! Mordenkainen is rolling in his grave!
Where did we go?
Okay.
What just happened? What did you cut to? What happened?
What?
All right. So, put your votes in for someone. Thank you, Sam and Liam, and thank you, well, D&D Beyond.
Sure.
That was next level.
Holy shit.
I'm a passionate man.
You are a very passionate man, and I love that movie. Thank you, D&D Beyond. We got 1 week to figure out which of these two chuckleheads is going to win. Our second sponsor tonight.
Kids in 2019 love homages to films from the 70s. Wow.
To be fair, the cool ones do. Right?
Cold arms.
Our fantastic second sponsor tonight, return sponsor, our friends at Idle Champions. So those who haven't heard our spiel before, or haven't had a chance to check it out, Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms is a strategy game using iconic characters from Dungeons & Dragons lore, as well as novels, campaigns, and shows, all at your fingertips. It's available for PC, Mac, Steam, and on the web, along with Xbox and PS4, where you get to build your own party of these characters, outfit them with equipment, send them into dungeon runs and adventures and storylines based on actual official D&D stories. They just apparently released a huge, massive update focused on their year one champions, which includes the classic Driss Dorden.
Yes.
Everyone's favorite Dark Elf Ranger with the Panther and dual scimitars. It's got a long history. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you should read.
Yeah.
As well as a number of legendary champions of the Hall. Legendary Companions of the Hall, my apologies. To celebrate this update, all players can claim one free gold chest with the code REBALANCED for you. One word, REBALANCED for you. And the U is a letter U. Which can be entered in the in-game shop as we speak, right now. So check out the game at idlechampions.com/critical role.
Nice.
All right. Thank you, sponsors. And a couple other updates. First off, on Monday, July 29th at 7 p.m. Pacific, here on the Twitch channel, we'll be airing our very own special Call of Cthulhu one-shot run by our brilliant Taliesin Jaffe.
The Dark Lord!
His dark and twisted mind has apparated this tale for a number of players familiar to those of you who've been following us for a while. Some at this table, some not, who will be joining from the sides. I think we've already announced, actually.
Yeah, they have. Not everybody lived, but yeah. There is a creepy mime walking around the studio.
He's a mime clown
He's
juggler.
lurking.
He's so much
That was some
creepier
fucking
now that he
lurking.
doesn't have the clown wig on.
Oh God! Stop.
Still stalking.
So quiet.
Don't take it off.
So the game is called The Shadow of the Crystal Palace is the story. It'll be on our Twitch channel. If you missed the live broadcast, it will be available on VOD on our YouTube channel the following Wednesday. So look for that. A huge thank you to everybody who came out to San Diego Comic-Con to see our panel on Friday. We already placed it on our YouTube channel, I believe, because it was on Talks this previous Tuesday. So if you missed it, it is available to watch now.
Thank you for all the questions, especially for me and Travis.
Are you being salty to our audience?
Comic-Con shade.
Comic-Con shade.
Thank you for legitimately for all the questions for me. I had like 4 or 5. So.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing such interesting conversation points for interesting people.
Bless you. Bless you.
Yeah, and a shout out and thank you to the McElroys and our friends in the Adventure Zone for inviting me and Marisha to be on their Friday night reading. It was so much fun to finally get a chance to meet the whole family and for us to hang out that night and be silly. And the guy named Lynn showed up. That was fun too.
Yeah.
So, kind of cool. Also, as a reminder, next week's episode of Critical Role will be on Friday instead of Thursday, as it will be our live show at Gen Con.
Oh, shit.
So instead of our normal Thursday slot, it'll be Friday, August 2nd at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, which is where we started there at Eastern Time. VOD will be available as per usual on YouTube on Monday. So look for that. Laura, you have some updates.
Oh, yeah, well, so, we put on the website that we announced some of our live show merch that's going to be available at Gen Con, so I'm just going to show it up. So we've got our D20, our oversized D20. I may have had a hand in.
Whoa, it's big.
It's a giant D20. There you go. What'd you roll?
4.
It's sparkly. You can't really tell on the website. It's got.
Oh God!
Gold
It looks like.
We've
like
got
Wonder
this.
Girl. That's cool.
Oh, this bag. Oh, dice.
Oh.
What? Oh. It was not a 20.
Yes.
No, it was not.
Oh my God! If it was a 20.
Those are
These are
sexy.
gorgeous. They're gorgeous. You can go on the website and check it out, our shop and everything, and see it. Because here's the thing: these are all going to be available at our live shows. But as of next year, any overstock that we have, we're going to make it available on the store as well.
Yes.
So, so I know some people are sad because they won't be able to get the live merch if they're not going to be able to be there. But have patience, because it might be available later on. And then also look at this cutie Chibi Jester pin.
Oh, look at that. Is that a
Looks
donut
just like
behind
you.
her?
This is our live show variant of it. So when I say variant, that means that there's gonna be a non-variant version available in the store very soon. Chibi Jester. I'm in charge of merch, you guys. Jester and Dice. Also available, I think right now. And this by the way, this Chibi design is designed by Jenny Parks, and she's amazing. Did I say Park? Jenny Park. She's so awesome. And then we also have this Vox Machina Origins pin is in the store. It's for our comic
From the
book.
comic book.
And where
gonna
is that?
take
Is
it
that
out.
in our store?
This is in our store.
Now?
Yeah, it's available in our US and our UK shop right now.
Can I have that one?
This was our sample one that came in, so it's extra special.
Have it?
About Monica.
I mean, maybe.
Okay.
I can say yes now, and then I might take it back. Okay. So yeah, that's going on.
That's great stuff.
Yeah, right? I'm gonna play with the oversized tonight.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh my God, what
And
if I
she'll
will-
play with everyone that we make and sell.
Yes, obviously.
Individual.
Where did the oversized dice go?
It's
Taliesin stole it.
took it. We can share it tonight.
All right, I'll do that. Okay.
Alright.
Just put- yeah, right there.
I still have an unhealthy amount of adrenaline. coursing through my
You're
veins.
shaking.
Sure.
You're like,
Wow.
Somewhere there's a parent who is realizing that he has to explain to their child what network is, and that
Yeah.
excites me.
Oh, it's
I
so
can
good.
feel hundreds of those conversations
I remember.
happening at once.
I remember when I was given that DVD for Christmas. It was like that deep.
Everyone should watch Network.
Good shit.
Mandatory viewing.
Yeah, not only is it a classic film, but it gets more and more points. Progressing here.
Anyway, did a very good. That was
great.
I believe that concludes our announcements. So,
Like a Tisch School for the Arts audition.
Oh, sorry.
let's go ahead and jump in to tonight's episode of Critical Role.
Begins. They were always beside you, your nerdy best friends, and the DM to guide you. And they rise from the flames for the battles ahead. Villains beware, 'cause you're about to be dead. They got magic and flair, they got falchions and cunning. They don't see over there, there's a monster incoming. Inspiration is waiting, rise up, don't think twice. Put your fate in your hands, take a chance, roll the dice. Can you answer the call, digging deep in your soul? As the legend unfolds, now it's your turn to roll.
And welcome back. So, last we left off, the Mighty Nein had finished their business, it seemed, in returning the remnants of Knott's family to safety on the Menagerie Coast in Nicodranus under the watch of Marion Lavore, mother of Jester. They had figured out what business they wished to focus on at the time being, and with a little bit more knowledge about the history of Caduceus's family, purpose, and main goal, along with the unveiling of information regarding these shattered artifacts that you've been slowly assembling in disparate places across Wildmount, you've decided to travel far north to the Greying Wildlands, beyond both the Dynasty and the Empire, into the outskirts of the conflict and beyond. You, through the help of Essek, the Shadow Hand within Jorhas, you found yourselves instantaneously teleported with a brief misfire and a bit of physical damage to the party. You emerged underneath a growing flurry of snow in the center of the Flotket Alps, looking upon what looked like the snow-covered pine forests that swallowed the valley before you. The large, cragulous peaks covered with ice and white as the clouds above began to grow darker and darker, what looked to be the growth of a blizzard making its way in your direction. A lake in the center of this valley, and along this singular black mountain where snowfall cannot seem to find purchase long enough before melting. Various slow, glowing trickles of molten rock finding their way down the mountain from various vents before hissing into a large column of steam as they reach the outskirts of this lake. And that is where we pick up. So, suddenly, the freezing temperature clutches each of you, looking across the way.
Bless.
Bless. It's freezing here.
Essek, kind of looking around. Very well, you have your destination. You can see him kind of like shrugging off a little bit of, a vein bulge in his forehead from the damage he also sustained this along the journey. I will, make my way back to my city of origin. Good luck. And he turns around and kind of finds a small area under one of the nearby trees and begins carving a small circle into the ground, familiar to you.
Anything you can tell us about this area before you leave?
Not looking up, still drawing amongst the dirt.
I say, oh, sorry, no, go on.
I have not been here. Otherwise, this would not have been as tumultuous a journey.
Yeah, that felt really good, by the way. Thank you.
Not all powerful magic is perfect.
I think it makes him more likable, to be honest.
Flawed character.
Exactly.
Imperfection.
Yeah.
We will be in touch while we are here.
Please do. Let me know should you require anything.
Just stalling for time a bit. If you know.
And with that, he steps into the circle and vanishes.
So you can do that too, or not like stranded here.
Well, so far my average is pretty good. I haven't put us inside a wall.
That's true.
Maybe later, though.
Can always hope.
Caducey, where are we going?
Shut up.
I think we're going there. Look at it. This is going to be fun.
And you've never been here before, right?
No, I haven't. This is a lot.
Have you seen it in your visions, though?
I have. I've seen it from a distance, from very high up. This is it's a little colder than I expected, but is there even the slightest sense of civilization anywhere? Or are we just out in the middle of?
From where you stand right now, make a perception check.
Get it.
I was hoping to make a perception check about 3 miles south, but fine. 14.
And use that big dice.
14.
That's true. You should have used this.
Next time.
What you see is mountain, ridge, snow, tree, lava, and rock.
Bob Ross.
You see no signs of civilization. You see no structures from this perspective. You're kind of on the opposite side of this lake, facing towards the mountain, Kravaraad.
This is perfect.
How far are we from that lake? Can we see if it's frozen
Which
over?
actually, now that it's arrived,
Sorry, Devin. Sorry, Devin. Didn't say it on purpose. Sorry, Devin.
Ooh, this map is like beat up. This one was hard to get.
It's got
Crystal
blood on it
Lands.
too. Why do all maps have blood on them?
Crystal Lands, Tundra.
That's from the nosebleed.
This is awesome. So where are we?
Altitude.
Plains,
Gulch.
Ivory Lake, Emerald Gulch. So we're Krakow. What are we? What?
Kravaraad.
Cal said Kravaraad.
Kravaraad.
Whoa, like in the
Fraggle
middle?
Rock.
Kravaraad.
Down in Kravaraad. Over
And
there.
there's a lake, not too far away from the Cindercrest Sanctum. Cindercrest?
Sure. Man.
And something that says
Uthodurn.
Is that the fucking place?
I don't know.
I think that's the one they said with the
Yeah, with the
for the sword.
Oh, yeah.
Let me see.
Do we remember if
Yeah,
that's
that's what
the name?
Uthadurn, elves and dwarves, question mark. That's what I wrote down.
They live together in harmony and they can forge amazing weapons made of badassery and shit.
That's kind of the gist of what you recall.
We're gonna go meet elves and dwarves.
and it's right next door to where we're going.
Beautiful.
As if destiny itself brought us here.
Agreed. Can we spread this out?
Star Razor
Please.
is the name of the sword. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Caduceus, this is your story, I think. Which way do we go? Where do we enter?
Well,
Was anything passed down to you? You know, through spoken word from your family or...
there were conversations, but again, they were conflicting and strange. Nobody, I don't know anybody who had ever been here before. If they had, they didn't admit to it. But if I were walking, looking for a place, I would head right up to where the lava springs from. I say we just head right in.
Sure.
Won't we melt?
No.
What if there's like an entrance from the side or something that might be less deadly?
Less polite, though. You usually just want to knock on the front door. The side door just seems very personal.
Direct as always.
I'm sure we'll see it as we head up, right?
That's the
If there is
closer we
something
get.
over, yeah.
I think we'll get a sense of it. I'm a little giddy.
Sorry, I was blanking out on the map. Is the lake frozen or is liquid water?
from what you can tell, there is steam rising. You cannot see from this distance if the entire lake is not frozen or is frozen, but wherever the molten rock is hitting, there is steam rising.
That storm's on its way right now, right? It's definitely. Yeah. Let's head toward. Why don't we head towards the lake? See if we can find some warm water. And I don't know how far we're gonna get before it gets impossible to move forward. But at least let's make our way there before we have to bed down.
Agreed.
Follow and walk along the lake.
Yeah.
We're on the edge.
Okay.
We were at the beach yesterday.
Yeah, what?
What a world.
Bit of a shift.
Is anybody super cold?
I've got my big coat, and I put my hood up.
I feel fine, but if anyone is cold.
I've got some cold stuff that I bought.
Okay.
How are our humans doing?
How are we doing?
I have my
A scarf and a
adrenaline.
coat.
It's chilly.
You have no sleeves.
I'm fine. I have my strength and physical
I
prowess.
pull up the rod of hand warming and I hand it over to Bo.
I forgot we had that.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I'll take that. That's nice.
Also, use our
Thank you.
smells on her.
Have that?
Yeah, of course.
I never used that.
You know,
We never use the rod to smile.
I can make people smile without it, so.
Trees where we are, or bearing up to the mountainside?
There are trees. They're a little bit scattered on the edge. You're basically kind of at the base of a mountain that heads down into this valley, and then across the valley is where this Kravaraad Dark Rock Mountain is. So where you are, there are a few trees, kind of not too closely clustered, and then the further down in the valley you go, the more it becomes a pinewood forest.
Juicy.
So we head towards it, and if anybody gets a feeling or sees anything along the way, just make yourself known.
I'm gonna keep my eyes out for anything I get a feeling about.
Okay,
I'll
fair
keep an
enough.
eye on the treetops until we're out into a clearing.
And I'll watch the lake.
Okay, could I have a marching order?
No.
Caduceus.
I'll come out.
Just out of curiosity.
I'm next to Ducey.
All right, Caduceus is up front, and we have 4 next to Caduceus.
I'll go next, sipping on some booze to keep me warm.
Lay back.
I'll go behind Noct.
Alrighty. Bo?
Now, come up the rears.
All right, there you go. So,
But
Yeah.
unless you have a preference. Okay. All right, so heading now into the deeper and deeper regions of this wood. I need 2 of you to go ahead and make a perception check. If you were the one that was saying,
You do it.
you said you were keeping an eye for anything
Yes, I
strange.
am.
Oh, yeah, please.
So it'll be the 2 of you.
Oh, so you don't get help.
Or you can help them.
Oh.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Should I roll that one too?
Yeah, I think we both roll this one.
Oh god, what if we both roll low on it? Oh good! Ha
See, that ain't happening.
ha! Wah, wah.
Buy this dice.
Perception?
Yes.
23.
23, not
No,
bad.
wait, is that right?
5 plus,
Yeah, plus 8.
Yeah.
23.
There you go. That'll work out. Okay. So, you all trudge through the crunching snow, the feet eventually pushing through into the kind of softer floors of the forest here, making your way past large, looks like rocks or lava bombs that at some point in the past may have been jettisoned by Kravaraad and just kind of landed and seem to be these kind of unnatural and kind of like a sore thumb sticking out amongst the rest of the topography, these large pieces of black volcanic rock.
I'd love to stop and look at one for a second, just to get a good. Is it just volcanic rock, or is there any mineral deposits in it? If I kind of give it a bit of a scrape and get into
Make an
it.
intelligence check.
That one, okay. Mm-hmm. That's fair. 14.
14. It looks like, upon close inspection, there are elements in the exterior that are porous volcanic rock, but kind of scraping away bits of it. A large portion of this is probably standard granite. So whatever this was, the entire mountain is not made of volcanic rock, but whatever this was, it was kind of like jettisoned out during some sort of a ancient explosion.
It's graphite.
Gotcha.
We're fucked.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Your hand begins to tingle, Caduceus. But continuing onward. the time of day you guys had journeyed from at this point. It had been relatively midday, if I recall, because you'd stayed the night in Nicodranas, and then journeyed back to Rossona
In the morning.
and then stayed a bit just to kind of, so I would say late afternoon, we'll say. Because you had some time to make your plans with Yeza, meet with Essek, and get everything situated there. Some like midday, early afternoon.
Okay.
So you still have a few hours of daylight, you assume at this point in time. But the journey itself is marked by gray skies and a growing flurry of snowfall and wind. And the wind it adjusts. Sometimes it grows really strong and bites through, and you all have to kind of stop and try and find yourself to cover for a bit, and then it calms, and you trudge on further and further, the canopy of the forest eventually blocking your entire view of the valley as you begin to reach the bottom of its trough. As you're keeping an eye out, you begin to notice there is a mist that is gathered across the bottom of this forest. The closer you get to the bottom, and similar to or closer to the proximity of the lake's exterior. Traveling around what you assume to be like the southern side of it, you notice the mist start revealing shapes. Meaning you think you see someone standing towards the edge of the lake as the tree line begins to thin, and you find yourself getting closer and closer to the edge of where this water begins.
Guys. Could you just, you don't think there's anybody like bad over here, do you?
Oh, I don't think so. I mean,
you know so?
No, I mean, it depends on what you mean by bad, really. Sometimes it's just people with a different agenda.
People
or
that
different
will
needs,
attack
poor
us, I mean,
communication
specifically.
skills. Oh, I mean, that's not bad. Just people who attack. I tell you, everybody
Sure,
attacks
yeah.
us. Then yeah, probably. If history is any indication, we'll probably get attacked.
Why
Yeah.
don't we pretend like there might be people here who would attack us?
Okay, well, in that case, I saw something in the mist.
Where?
Over at the lake, right in front of
let's
us.
also
What's with figures in mist with us?
Oh, I mean, it's a lovely day. Why wouldn't you be out in it? But
This smoke isn't toxic, by the way, is it?
I'm gonna lick the air.
Make a constitution check. Cool.
Lick the air.
Oh no!
Oh boy.
Savor check.
Save.
Find out real fast.
6. It's moisture.
All right, it's just yeah. It doesn't taste like burning or anything. It's just,
No, nothing odd, out of the ordinary. It is a cold moisture. It is just outside of the freezing point.
Okay.
I don't trust him. I put on like a makeshift face mask. I take one of my extra stashes
I'm going to remind everybody as we move forward that according to legends that we're going to run into a group of people similar belief system to my own, perhaps different. So we're expecting to see people. And that maybe leading with our fist is not necessarily, I'm not saying to take it off the table, but we're going to just try and come in for once and hope that perhaps we're being expected.
Should we like go out like saying, "Oh, hey, Wild Mother is the coolest" and stuff like that?
I wish you'd say that more often, actually.
Should we say their name? I forget the story you told. There was your family, the Clays, but there was also two others.
The Dusts.
The Dust.
So this is the
Stone.
Dust.
This is Dust.
Dust.
The Dust, the Priest of Dust was the one who started the Kiln.
And what was the third faction?
Stone.
Stone. Okay.
Started the menagerie. That's somewhere else.
Is that on the coast?
Possibly.
Is there some old word, some old name for it, or is it just whatever word is being used for dust these days?
Well, we were called the Clays and always have been, so I have to just assume that the Dusts have always been the Dusts. I don't know. The stories don't say if they don't call them brothers, they don't say they were related. I couldn't tell you what they look like or where they come from, other than the fact that the three families all were at one point together, and obviously friends and compatriots.
And lovers.
Okay, Jesse, just
your mind.
Pace it.
It could be.
Could have been.
Yeah.
Well, it could be.
Legal in
Just
some
that
places.
big orgy of clay and dust and
just the
stone.
mist is getting to you a little quick here.
But yeah, I don't know what to expect. I know that there's a dozen names for the place I come from, and I've heard a couple different names for this place.
Any kind of identifying features or call and repeat that you guys might share? Or?
I would hope they would know. I would hope they would know the name Clay.
Sure.
You're the most well informed of us to this, so I think we all trust you.
What is the figure doing?
Have faith.
Currently, it looks like it's standing on the banks, like looking out across the lake. Yeah.
Why don't I go snoop around and just see what it is?
Why don't we just call out to it?
What if it's got friends?
I almost did. I was just trying to be polite because I know that makes everybody nervous when I do that.
We haven't been super quiet walking up, and it looks like his back is to us, so.
Whatever you want to do.
Let's just keep heading in that direction, and we won't try and be particularly sneaky about it. We'll just.
I'm going to try to be particularly sneaky. Okay. I'm going to dart off to the side into the mist.
Make a stealth check.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not to do them to be particularly sneaky.
With my hood on. Not great. Okay, 21.
21. Okay.
Not great. I know.
So, not darts off into the nearby forest. You guys continue heading towards the edge of the lake.
I'm actually gonna see you not do that and peel off and do the same.
Make a stealth check.
I'm going to quickly, just since we're walking, I'm going to just talk to the trees for a second. You guys would let us know if there was anything ominous or suspicious coming up, right? I mean, I feel like we're at that point.
You figure the trees probably understood you.
They seem to nod. Or it could be wind.
Could be the
I
wind.
don't know.
It's probably the wind.
Probably the wind. But that's we haven't understood.
It's probably fine. I cast mage armor.
Okay. The shimmer of arcane energy briefly evaporates around the exterior of Cato's body and then vanishes.
Strive for peace, prepare for war. I'm well aware.
All right, cool. I'm with you.
25 on my stealth.
25, nice. So you both peel off on the sides, begin to approach the edge. Now, because you guys are traveling at a casual pace, so you guys are keeping up with them in tandem, but off to the side hidden. So you approach the edge. Since Jester pointed it out, you can see the shape. The closer you get, you see it looks to be female. You see long, straight hair, kind of running past shoulders. I don't know if they're fishing off the edge of the lake. You can't really see what their activity is, but they're kind of just looking out over the waters. As you get close, those of you who are not being stealthy, kind of making your way through the snow. Footfalls. The figure turns and looks towards you. The vacant dark eyes, the sockets where they should be, and a glance in your direction, the hair seems to almost lift. And it vanishes into the mist.
Oh, she was bad. That's a bad guy. That's a bad guy. That's a bad guy.
I'm going to quickly do
I'm gonna
a quick detect undead.
But the music's still fine. We're okay.
I'm backing up away from the mist.
Okay, you were right.
disappeared
I admit it. You were
Into
right.
the lake, over the lake.
And backwards into the
Her form just
Did she look like
vanished
she looked
into
at
the
us
mist.
scary, or did she
Or
just look
she
at us
did.
kind of
It's just
vacantly?
like a.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
It's because he licked her.
Why this campaign? Can't it just be some brutish ogre instead of scary shit that's gonna make me wake up in the middle of the night?
Nope, it can only be that.
Just think about last night. Everything will be fine.
So,
Yeah, detect undead
all right. The radius in that is.
is 60 feet. 60 feet for the next few seconds. I get like a good 6 seconds of
Okay.
Yeah.
As you focus, the exterior of your radius suddenly catches your attention to the right and
Oh,
the left,
no.
and then pulls beyond your perspective range.
We are in trouble, guys.
We're in trouble.
You are no longer stealthed.
I hide again.
Okay.
No.
I am full percent. We're gonna.
Not happy fun times anymore?
Nope. You were right.
On me.
Quiet. Is there anything?
Make a perception check.
I want my real body. No, that'll do.
That's good.
28.
28. Looking around you, the mist is thick here at the base of the valley. And looking just beyond where the water is, you see shapes occasionally move, like a hand or a shoulder. You kind of glance off to the back, and forward you follow Caduceus's eyes and glance over as you see another figure kind of just looking at the edge of the mist and then steps backward and vanishes again.
How far are we from the water's edge?
At this point, you're about 50, 60 feet.
And we're not in the mist yet.
Well, the mist surrounds all of you.
Yeah, we are.
I thought maybe we were like outside of the mist.
There's a...
Do you feel like this mist is unnatural?
I would think this mist is part of the problem, yes. Perhaps the lake is part of the problem.
Do we need to get across this lake?
Do we have to get across this lake?
You can attempt to go across it or go around it.
I mean, I was hoping we were going to go around it.
On the other side.
On the other side of this lake.
Okay.
It can never be easy, can it?
Like a submarine?
Well, we could go in the lake and through.
How far across is the lake?
Breathe underwater.
From one side to the other, I'd say
Breathe underwater.
Not opposed
it's
to that.
about
You want to?
I think I do.
about a half mile.
Half a mile?
Half a mile across the
Half a
lake.
mile across the lake, to
We
about a
can do
mile,
that.
somewhere in that
Let's do
neighborhood.
I will cast underwater breathing on the entire group.
I've got an issue with this, guys. I still have an issue with this.
It's okay, we can just knock you out. It'll be all right.
It'll be
What do you
warm.
mean knock me out?
We're not going
What?
to knock you
What
out.
not?
It's not. We're not going to do that.
It's gonna be like bath water. It'll be like a day at the spa.
I'll just walk on the
My
water.
parents
be
always
worse
said
on
it's
the
just
water
best to
we'll
sleep
find
through these things.
What if the whole lake is filled with dead people?
We'll find out.
And then we'll come back up.
Hey,
What if they grab us and then we can't get
then you'll
back?
cast Turn Undead and we'll be okay.
Oh, that's right. I can do that.
Yeah, we're gonna be okay.
Also, sometimes you can find water out in the wild that boils the flesh off of the bone.
Are you serious right now?
Stop reading so many books. Shit. Let's go.
Well,
Don't jump in.
We'll dip
Maybe
a toe in.
I'll walk in. I'll
Maybe
walk
not.
into the water.
Don't work. Let's just put your finger in.
Okay.
Oh,
Just do it.
You walk in and your foot hits the edge and slips. It is an icy, frozen surface.
Cool. Glad I cast underwater breathing.
I mean, we could cut a hole in the ice.
It's solid?
Might as well try it.
Excellent.
I'll summon the falchion and just go shink and see if it even goes through or not.
Okay, go ahead and make a strength check for me.
Could be.
I am
it could
keeping
be
my eyes
real.
bloody peeled.
You
by
said
the
a
way.
strength check. That's.
Well, it is your weapon, so I'd say you can use your charisma bonus in place of a strength check for this
Bless
one.
you, sir.
Charm that ice. Oh.
8.
8. It sinks about 2 inches into it and then wedges itself there. So you look cool putting it in.
I cast Sacred.
You have to kind of like.
Do you want me to help?
I
Get it out, yeah.
cast Sacred Flame on the pointy hit just to try and melt it a
Yeah,
bit.
I'm gonna try to shove the falchion down further and see if I can get through the ice.
I feel like
Okay, so as you're about to wedge it out and lift, Jester reaches over and puts her hands over yours and roll a strength check.
Oh, balls and balls. 6.
6.
This falchion is not good.
You both just kind of wiggle it back and forth a bit before eventually kind of pull it free.
Caleb sighs and then just points 6 feet away and starts doing concentrated firebolts into one spot.
Right, and you're doing Sacred Flame as well, which is more of a radiant burst. The flames that burn there tend to be more of a life force affecting element. So yours does warm it a bit, but the fierceness of the arcane firebolt continuously, you're watching shards of ice go with each impact and begin to melt away a bit until it takes you about, I'd say, 2 minutes or so to finally break through the ice to get to the water beneath it.
Do we want light underwater?
Everyone has a specialty.
I would think so.
Yeah, it's only the ice itself's only about maybe an inch and a half thick. It's not super thick.
Are we gonna freeze to death down there?
Yes. Of course we are. Super cold.
I think most of us.
thought
Maybe
the-
not you, maybe.
I'm gonna touch the water. How does it feel?
Very cold.
Terrible.
Very cold.
How far away are we from the point at which the lava hits the water?
It's the opposite side of this lake. That's
wow.
where the different vents are kind of leaking into.
So-
So about a half mile to a mile. somewhere in the
700
neighborhood.
yards.
We could also always just.
What's all the dead people miss doing?
As you kind of glance around, you look over your shoulder, and right there next to your face, you see the gaunt skeletal visage of the eyeless woman, her stringy hair, like very scary stories tell in the dark.
Nope.
Just
God.
kind of looking over your
Those
shoulder, and then
illustrations.
kind of looks back into your face, and then vanishes into the mist.
Can we not right
fucking
now?
with us though?
Maybe they're just scary as ghosts.
It could be just
I'm
guardians.
talking to the ghosts.
What'd you say?
Can we not right now?
Okay.
Just hoping. You have goggles. You see underwater if we put your head under and hold you.
Yeah, why don't we put Bo's head under freezing water for a while?
It was my idea. I can do it. I'll go.
Don't, just take a look. Don't stay down.
Yeah, I'll put my hands on the ice and stick my head under and see what I can see with my dark vision.
Make a perception check.
Okay.
Give him some light, Caleb.
I could do that, couldn't I?
I'll stick my, go ahead.
Yeah.
17,
okay. You poke your head down. It is murky water, and a lot of the light that would come in while there is a storm above is being refracted by the thick ice, so the visibility is not great.
While he's down there, globules into the water around his head.
Okay. And as they do, it kind of lights up. You can see the muck that makes up the base of this lake, the dirt and bits of sand and sediment that turns into kind of the thick, rotting vegetative material that is just settled to the bottom of the water. About 30, 40 or so feet out, you can see some rocks and you can see a little bit of vegetation that lives beneath, but nothing beyond that catches your attention.
Okay, and pop my head back up. Visibility's not terrible. It's not polluted. I didn't see any creatures swimming around. Just seems to be a fresh water. Could I tell if it was fresh water?
It is fresh water.
Seems like a freshwater lake.
What is it, Jesus?
I was just thinking that, in theory, the kiln is in that mountain, which is in turn a crematory, which in turn means that the cremated remains of hundreds of people might be rolling into this lake.
Oh, hence all the ghosts?
Maybe.
I tighten my scarf around my face.
That also means that maybe inside the lake might be worse.
Sure. I mean, they haven't messed with us yet.
They haven't.
Just go.
Yeah.
Let's just walk carefully with our eyes around or across.
I think straight through. I mean, I think around it's still there. The mist is still there, right?
The mist permeates the entirety of the basin and the base of this valley.
I mean, normally I would say that we were less likely to get attacked from below if we don't walk across the lake, except trouble with undead is that sometimes below is where they come from.
Sure, let's go around.
I guess we'll go around.
Okay.
Let's keep our eyes peeled.
So you're walking around the outskirts of the lake, then?
I think around.
How bad? It's like a long.
Much to the time?
To the left, to the left.
It will, I'd say at a careful pace, that's another hour or so.
Okay. That sounds good.
Are we in danger of not making it by nightfall or something?
Maybe we just said a couple of hours.
You
we arrive.
have a few more hours before you lose daylight. The storm is coming and it's getting darker and it's getting colder. At this point, too, since you've put your head in the water that's on your face and the elements of your hair is starting to frost and freeze, and your head is already kind of starting to get chillier than it was before.
Out of the water is probably better.
Oh, well, take the rod and put it on Ford's head.
No, it's just a rod. It's fine.
Is that better?
That looks nice.
That's a look.
Okay.
Eyes are peeled this whole walk, not even getting around.
Same marching order as previous?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay.
They're giving the help of that chick that was on my shoulder.
All right. You guys continue going to the right or the left? What would be the eastern or western sides of this lake? Left. All right. So curving around as you move away, watching behind, you can see that area where the ice has been broken and melted a bit. You can see the mist seems to almost like swirl over it. And as it does, you can see hands almost reaching down towards it, and the ice kind of forms back over the area where you had removed it. As it does, you can see a face kind of look up and then disappear into the mist. You turn around to look ahead of you, and you see about 30 or 40 feet ahead of you another figure just kind of keeping at pace but drifting backwards. This one appears male, eyes missing, wispy hair kind of slightly drifting and floating in space, and it just kind of glances in your direction for a moment before it turns around and then dissipates into the mist as well.
Are we walking through snow?
There is snow on the banks of this lake, yeah.
Is it like 6 inches, an inch, a foot?
Right now, it's maybe 2 inches, and it's a little slushy at the edge of the lake right here. But more and more is coming down, and you gather probably by the time you make it on that side of the lake, to probably have.
I don't want to point out the obvious, but you saw it cover up the hole, right? Like, why would it care if there was a hole?
It's probably for the best we didn't go in.
Yeah.
Or maybe
It's just cold weather.
Should we just like talk to the ghosts and let them know that, you know,
That we're okay?
nice?
It's curious, but
Sure.
it's probably not the first place we should look.
Right. Well, Jester, you're very affable. Why don't you give him a whirl?
Oh, hey ghosts. Don't know how long you've been here, but you know, it's pretty remote, so if you want to hear about stuff going on in the world, we can let you know. Because there's lots of stuff going on in the Empire and in Jorhas and...
Resistance wisdom.
Okay. As you're having this conversation, are you guys walking along the edge of the water or along the bank where the snow is?
You mean on ice or on land?
On ice or on land?
On land.
Okay. All right. So, yep. As you're walking through, you look, kind of looking around. You can see the mist, and occasionally shapes shift through. You're not sure if it's just the wind as it gusts, and you kind of clutch yourself, and your hair blows past your face, and you glance around and can see what looks like things moving around the periphery, keeping a distance at times, some closer than others. You glance past the ice, and you think you can see a handful of faces from underneath looking up. You kind of blink, and they're gone.
That was a bad idea on my part.
Maybe, like, the ones above the ice are good, and the ones below the ice tried to suck you in or something, and they were trying to keep the bad ones from coming back out.
I feel like maybe
they're all bad.
Maybe they're just trapped here. I don't know. They haven't done anything to us yet.
Desperate for company.
I'm
And
going to pull out Tusk Glove and just start reading it to them.
Just loudly. Alrighty.
Keep us safe.
So true.
Okay. So carrying on for the next 20, 30 minutes or so, as Jester loudly reads outward into the open, cold air of the valley at the base of Kravaraad.
Oh, Kravaraad needs a little steaming to heat it
You do
up.
watch as more figures begin to appear at the peripheral. There's that same woman who's kind of almost to the front, and you see 3 other figures. And then there are 6. And there are 12. And they're all just drifting in a semicircle behind you, following.
Do I recognize
They
them?
love
I'm
the
gonna.
I love the porn.
I think
It's
they
a
do.
page turner.
You're drawing an audience.
Pied Piper of Small.
I'm just for. I'm gonna stop walking forward for a second and turn around.
Okay. As everyone keeps walking, they keep pace with everybody and begin to kind of approach you.
Dust,
No recognition.
clay.
No recognition. The woman
Do you need help?
passes through you. You feel a freezing cold icicle flash through your body. For one instant, your breath kind of is drawn from your lungs, and then the need for warmth becomes very, very apparent.
I don't feel so good.
Caduceus is behind all you guys.
Well, I didn't. I mean, like I just went to the back of the line.
Yeah.
Take this rod. It's actually
Thank
really
you.
nice.
Is the rod helping? I'm gonna.
Yeah, it's helping.
Okay. Okay. He will. Okay. That they're not happy.
Maybe I should not read this book anymore.
No, it seems. I don't know.
Distractions are good. Let's keep going. Keep reading.
Yeah, you want to think it's going
It's not.
Yeah.
Just for fun, one more detect undead, just to see if there's anything beyond what we can see.
Okay.
Read the part where he plunged inside of her again.
Okay.
Whoa.
That was a good part.
You tune out the sequence that Jester is loudly professing amongst the audience. And as you close your eyes, you sense dozens and dozens of entities around all of you.
Are they concentrated anywhere? Or is it more towards the back?
More towards the back. They're kind of
They're
trailing.
following.
They're following.
Maybe it has something to do with you.
Maybe.
They're just following him?
Yeah, are they just following Caduceus?
They're following the group.
But Caduceus
one
is
went
with
up
the
to
group.
Jester, though.
Right. They're following the group.
Jester, do you want to pause your reading for a minute or two and see if that has any difference?
Just finish this one sentence, though.
And it was real deep.
We didn't say it was a good book.
And yet we keep reading
Quality, right?
And it was real deep.
Fanfiction.net,
Wow.
number 3, best story in 2004.
That's what you got.
I was looking at my spells. It's just that, okay?
Reskinned Gargoyles fanfiction. So, you finish the phrase and pause for a moment and continue to walk in silence for another few minutes. As you do, you watch the spectral figures begin to pull back into the mist and disappear.
Oh, they did just want to hear about it.
Maybe they just missed the
Wait,
sounds of the living.
They stopped following us when she stopped
A number of them are still there, but the numbers have dwindled. Where once
they
there was
really like the
maybe
book.
a couple dozen figures in the mist that were drifting behind you, now there's about 8.
Maybe we should start again.
Maybe they're looking for someone. Maybe they're looking for someone to come for them.
Maybe they're just not used to the living being around.
People would have to come here at least. I don't know.
Crematory, you said?
Yeah.
Shall we push on?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Do you continue reading or do you remain stopped?
What do you want me to do, guys?
I mean, the ghosts did seem a little horny, so maybe.
I'd say, all things considered, I'd rather have happy ghosts than unhappy ghosts, and they seem to, perhaps not loudly, but continue for the. I've been finding it oddly comforting.
Maybe just pause it for now and not
they
broadcast
seem-
our location as we're walking.
Neutral or positive? Neutral, yeah.
They look
They
horny.
seemed naturally ghastly. Expressions unchanged,
Indifferent.
slack-jawed, eyeless, sunken sockets. You haven't gotten very close, but from like the 30-foot distance that you have a view of most of these entities, they just kind of drift.
Yes, but what about the
I got a
crotchal
good look
regions?
at it.
Were there tents?
Roll a perception check.
Were they
Poor
super
man
hot?
trying to build atmosphere.
I rolled pretty good. 11.
11.
They have no genitals.
Unfortunately, their spectral forms do lack definitive genitals, but your imagination helps you imagine that, sure, maybe half of them are pitching a tent.
Okay. I got
That's the sequel, actually, to Tusk.
I got a good look at it. Oh, God damn it. I love this so much.
Caduceus, what were you doing?
I said I got a good look at one of them. None of them have eyes?
None of them have eyes.
Do the ones in the lake, the faces in the lake have eyes?
No.
It's just no eyes.
And they're the more time you spend with them, you can see some appear to be humanoid, many elven, some dwarven,
Oh, a little
some
bit
orcish. It's a spread of various backgrounds and lineages.
I'm going to say, let's continue to show them whatever respect we can. This is a little. I refuse to believe that this is here to harm us.
By respect, do you mean reading smut or not?
I think reading smut.
Okay.
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 Let's keep
I'll
going.
read it quieter.
Yeah.
Skip to the good parts, I think. Or,
Yeah.
oh, that's not.
Oh, but it's okay.
That's
It's
very
building
graphic.
tension.
Let's keep going.
Okay, never mind.
Okay. As he ripped open her bodice.
It's like 5 gold to fix.
The storm begins to build. The snow and sleet begins to pelt you in painful ways when you're not guarding your face from the somewhat diagonal impact. You find yourself coming around the other side and get a decent look now of maybe 100 or so feet away of where the most, where the closest element of trickling lava vent is entering the icy lake itself. You can see the steam column, just perpetual, just whitish steam that mingles with the nearby mist and then carries upward, and the pillar seems to merge with the clouds as the wind kind of blows it in the direction of the strong winds.
How's the warmth of the water here?
It is still frozen around you.
Oh, we haven't gotten close enough.
Haven't got that close yet. The mist around you directly, the spirits are still following. As you're reading, the numbers begin to swell once more to about 30 or so entities keeping on the outside, the outskirts of your travel group. eventually you come to the point where you can see the ice is melting and thinning, and you can see actual water, liquid water, is visible. Also, the temperature is rising towards the base of where this portion of the mountain is. You can see there are chunks of snow that do manage to find their way along the mountain, but a large portion of it doesn't seem to allow it to stay very long. As you approach where the lava is, you can see the spectral figures begin to peel off until eventually they all stop and begin to fall further into the distance.
I'm going to turn around one more time to the edge of where they were and just give a moment's just a kneeling recognition.
One by one, they all vanish entirely into the mist. That single female figure that you first encountered, the last one standing before disappearing.
She stayed for the whole reading. Biggest fan.
She might have written it. I don't remember. Who's the author?
Matilda Merceria.
That's right.
Who doesn't like a book club?
Maybe we should just come back here once a week and read to them.
So is there a cave that we're looking at, or is it just mountain?
Lava flow right now.
It'll be a cave. If I recall.
Well, from what you recall, it's probably a cave.
And now do we climb?
But like, is there a mouth of a cave that we can walk into, or no?
Make a perception check.
10.
From what you can see now at the base of this large, black, rising mountain, the smell, by the way, is a mixture of various sulfurous gases with the clean, chilled air of the storm mingling. So it in waves, it gets stronger and lessens. Sometimes it stings your eyes a bit as the smoke and the steam gets kind of blown in your direction. From where you stand, it's just mountain. You don't see any caverns or openings or pockets. And to continue, you have to choose which side of the mountain to go around. You could go on the left side, kind of keeping the left theme, or the right side. But to travel the right side, you would have to find some way to circumvent the 10-foot wide little river of lava.
Usually historically good for us.
Yeah. By the way, I've been to Yellowstone. Sulfurous means it smells like farts here.
It does.
Yeah. In Rotorua, New Zealand, I still have clothes that smell like it.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Really bad.
Dust was told to walk the mountain still. They found a cave with an onyx pool of magma.
Oh, magma is like a thing we're looking for?
An onyx pool of magma.
Onyx pool, a cave with an onyx pool of magma within. At least that's the story.
Well,
Left or right?
well, it could be up.
Up.
Yeah.
On this side or that is the question.
Let's avoid crossing the lava until we have to.
Yeah,
But let's follow it up.
Sure.
Stick left and go up.
Stay warm.
It can be lava flows underwater. I'm just saying. Okay, let's go up.
So, just going up.
Yeah, how precarious is it?
It's not super precarious yet. You're towards the base, and so the angle is not extremely steep at the moment.
More of that porous rock, like soil.
And the good news is, because of that, also, at least this close to where the flow is, it's a good enough grip. So, there aren't any slick areas. You're used to kind of the ice and the snow you've been traversing at this point. This side of the mountain is a little easier to keep your boots on. So, trekking up the side, kind of hiking up the edge, the light is just beginning to dwindle.
Oh no.
You're probably about 40 minutes or so out before dusk finds you.
We don't want to be climbing when it gets dark.
Well, we can start at least looking for a place to set up camp.
Yeah, the dome on the side.
Sure.
If we have to. If we have to.
Yeah. Okay.
Can we see where the magma is where the burst is, where the vein is?
It's about, let's say, 400 or so feet up from where you are.
Are we above the tree line already, or no? Well, there's no tree line.
There's no tree line here.
Mountain. And there's no shadows being cast by rocks that might be concealing a cave or anything.
Make a perception check.
I'll make a
Or
perception.
any kind of looks like a flat area, like
A mesa?
22.
22. Looking up this side and above you right now, there are a small, few shadowed crevasses, but nothing that seems cave-like from your current visual perspective.
What would I do if I were... Do we have a bird right now?
A what? A bird.
No. Tricky.
Always a cat.
Well,
Currently a cat.
Jester, can't you turn into a bird?
Yeah.
I'll feel a little more worried about you heading off on your own up into a storm as a living...
She could take someone else.
That way I can
getting
kill
hit by
both of
a
us.
lightning bolt.
I could ride on your back.
We could go together.
How far away is the storm?
It's probably going to coincide with dusk, if not a little bit afterwards. So like the heavy elements of it is getting heavier. The storm is here, but it's not reaching a severe intensity yet.
Are there signs of lightning and thunder in the distance, or is it more of a snow winter storm situation?
At the moment, it looks more like a snowy flurry.
So camping closer to the magma will mean that we'll stay warmer and that the snow will probably melt before it hits us. But it also means that the magma might divert, and then that could get tricky.
Well,
That
it's
won't happen.
tricky though. If we can find a flat point on the hillside, I am able to regulate the temperature inside.
Oh.
The hut, yeah.
Well, let's
We have to find that.
Let's keep it.
Sounds
keep
like
an
a
eye
job
peeled
for an eagle.
Sounds like a job for an eagle.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep our eyes.
Polymorph.
Let's go for it.
What?
Okay.
Got you a list somewhere in here. Just gotta find it.
I want a smart thing. Is a
list.
big eagle.
Giant eagle.
Yeah.
Pretty smart.
What we were before.
Okay. Giant hawk. Oh, here it is. These are all the flying things.
Yeah, but it doesn't have their stats.
Giant eagle isn't very intelligent.
Isn't or is? Okay, yeah, giant eagle. So
All
I'm gonna
right.
polymorph myself.
Same. Do you want you to go along?
Thanks, Kim.
So now you now have two giant eagles with massive, I'd say, 20-plus foot wingspans tip to tip.
Mine is albino.
Tip to tip.
An albino one to even be more hidden amongst the
Mine's blue.
dark mountains. Alrighty.
Good.
White and blue. Perfect.
Just need a red one.
I'll jump on Jester and I'll use my glamored armor to change my armor to red.
There you go. Perfect.
So go over to D&D Beyond. Fuck yeah.
They got a week left. They got to try every edge they can get. All right, you both take up. The winds are strong, but so are the eagles. You're riding the eagle. All right, on the back of Jester's eagle form. Which direction are you guys taking?
Straight up to peer down, yeah?
All right, so both of you guys are going straight up and peering down.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just want to look for a flat surface so there's something to camp on close by, or a cave opening or anything.
On the way to the up.
Options
Yeah.
for a 10-foot radius
Yeah, that's what
feasible
we're looking for. Is camping ground.
Okay.
flash.
The wind gets stronger the higher up you go.
So not up too high.
So, all right. Okay.
We're gonna keep closer to the mountain to keep the winds.
Okay. Perception check from all three of you.
14.
As eagles.
Now you both
What
have
is it
you
with
both
the-
have advantage
Natural 20.
as eagles.
So,
Oh god. Okay.
In the meantime, why don't you start looking at the fucking thing?
I don't know how to do that. What's the ad? Well, he got 20. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's fine.
I got 7 plus whatever it is.
Oh, 14.
14. So what's the total, Caleb?
20, but well, I didn't have Giant Eagle open. I stopped.
Plus
after.
4 to his perception.
You're so good.
So 24. All right. As you guys peer up, you look, there are a couple of shelves that could work for an evening's rest point. They're a little bit of a hike away and a little steeper up the side. You, from that perspective point, see across the lava flow and down on the kind of southern side, there is a plume of smoke that is rising up from what looks to be a little bit of an outcropping, but there's no lava vent or flow emerging from it.
Okay, so cross the lava. How far up the mountain did you say?
It's maybe about 200 feet up comparison to where you guys currently are, on more of the southern, southeastern side.
Okay, so we'd have to get over or go all the way around.
Correct. You have to climb up and around the lava flow.
Or you could carry people.
Carry people, yeah, of course.
You said there's smoke rising from it, but that's not from lava.
There is no vent. Well, you don't know
It's
where.
not spilling out, is what you're saying. It's
So what
just
should
a
we do?
smokestack or something like that.
Or a camp or something.
We We understand each other.
Totally.
What are you guys saying? What are you guys talking about?
Bird stuff.
What do you think we should do?
God damn it. Fucking eagles.
This is the next 2 hours of the campaign, guys. Buckle up.
Crows and ravens.
I'm pointing.
I say an eagle to Jester to say, fly not down so she can see what we see,
Okay.
and she can do the talking.
So fucking stupid.
So through the charades, because eagles technically can't speak, they can understand common and oral.
Oh.
No,
Oh,
can't
we
we
can't.
speak to each other in...
You-
But you know,
where
we don't have
animals
like.
can't But we have the intelligence of the animal? We don't understand our own language?
Yeah,
It's
but I
not
don't
an
think
eagle
eagles can,
language.
like-
It's Orin, which is a language of our Kokra and other flying entities.
We just like talk to each other.
I know.
Oh, so many variations.
This is where the fantasy world
You
breaks down.
motherfucker, you can turn into anything and understand everything. Goddamn druid.
Does that
Druids are
mean
cool.
that you understand like eagle mating rituals and things like that? Like does that become innate?
No, come on.
I'm sorry.
No, but it
It's all about
can
it's an
be.
interesting point.
It can be learned.
Oh my god!
Thank you.
Oh my god!
Thank you.
You guys! There's smoke coming for that
All right, so as the eagles return to convey this information to you guys, what would you like to do?
Later.
Yeah.
Everybody, it's crazy. We should go up to that and at least inspect it. I would say that on foot it would take us about how long to get there?
On foot, from where you are currently, about
200 feet up and over.
well, up and over, and then the opposite, like
gotta
far
cross the
southern
lava.
side of this mountain, it'd be about another hour and a half.
We could get there just after dark.
But we could pick people up and carry them.
Oh, we could ferry back and
How
back
how
and
fast
forth.
would it be
That's
if we
true.
ferry?
You guys are pretty fast because you're not
So-
bound by the dangerous terrain of the
let's
mountains.
make it the one bag
If
set.
the walking route
Yeah.
keeps heading up that 200 feet, and then the two eagles keep grabbing people,
Yeah.
taking them to the
I don't say anything. I just go and pick
Eagles
up
will take
Ford and Bo.
take two of us.
Wait, what
Oh,
if
boy.
it's a trap?
All right. So, picking them up into the air, you watch Jester just take off in her bright blue eagle form,
I'm like
clutching
kind
both
of a grayish blue.
Grayish
I
blue
blend
eagle.
in with the sky a bit.
Bo and
sky
Ford.
blue
Ford is here.
eagle form, clutching Bo
Are you
and Ford.
clutching both of us, so Ford and I are just like,
Flopping around.
it's cold! It's real
And
cold!
by the way, you're going pretty fast against the storm, so it's like just being pelted with sleet.
By the way, I thought this was gonna go.
We're gonna die!
Your faces are immediately numb. There's frost building up in your eyebrows and the front of your hair.
Caleb nudges his head underneath Knott's legs, scoops her up, and then both claws grasp Caduceus by the shoulders.
pull down the hood.
Okay, you prepare yourself, Hutchin.
Struggling, though. He's heavy.
All right, so carrying around that to make the pace, fairly decent use of time. You managed to get there. I'd say it took about 20 or so minutes of strong, continuous flight to get there. The wind does pose a bit of a problem as the storm comes in. I would like each of you, please, to make a strength check using the eagle's strength.
Stats.
Okay, what are you?
Plus 3.
You got them in front of you.
Oh, thanks, Sam.
20 total.
Everything is awful.
What'd you get?
6 total.
6. Okay, and you go.
Suckers.
22. Yeah. Caduceus.
Yep.
You are carried without an issue towards the perch. Jester, you're having a hard time as the wind batters you once, twice, and then poof, a third time you kind of spiral, corkscrew for a moment, and return. Your left claw a little bit lighter.
Oh no!
As Beauregard suddenly is released from your grasp. And you're like, just start-
Can I fly after her and try to grab her
You can
up?
certainly try. So now Beauregard is. You can barely see anything at this point now, aside from the snow that's piercing by, the clouds of smoke that's coming up, and you're just spinning end over end, plummeting through the middle of this snowstorm in the sky, free falling. As you turn around to try and dive, clutching forward, you get some G's as you're whipped around and then being dragged at full eagle speed towards Beauregard down below.
4G negative time.
You got one shot before her impact here, because you were only about 150 feet above the ground.
What bullshit?
Okay.
So
Good.
I will say, if you knocked around at the plummeting speed, yeah, just go ahead and roll a d20 for me.
Am I totally like
Unless you got something you want to try and do.
You're just
18.
18.
in a what?
Plus whatever.
No,
I don't know.
I was just gonna roll. I was using death save rules like 10 or higher. You managed to succeed.
God.
So as you can't see much, and you're trying to right yourself, and using your monk training, you put your arms and legs out, almost like how a cat falls, to catch itself, to stop yourself, from plummeting immediately. But as you do, you're like, okay, now I can focus, as that's the ground coming very rapidly at you. All of a sudden, you feel claws grab you around your waist, whoosh, and you're lifted up at a very steep arc as Jester has managed to snatch you from the possible jaws of doom.
I barf a little on the upswing. Just,
Where the fuck did you go?
where the fuck were you?
I like to imagine there's also like a little sprinkle weasel, like crawling around in the feathers, like the whole time.
Yep.
Traumatized weasel who's
that is
going on for sure.
Weasel's gonna write a book after therapy.
poor
The
weasel.
ground, and Ford's got a strange diagonal speckled stripe on his face.
Yeah. Frozen to it.
How's that for armor of Agathis?
That we asked for none of this.
Armor of shit and piss.
All right. As you guys all, the first batch settles down, you turn around to see a moment later the Blue Eagle come to land with two very haggard-looking companions held from beneath, as you guys are both gently set down atop this dark stone platform.
Hair
We're
is
right
just
there
frozen.
on the platform where the smoke was coming from.
The smoke is billowing
Okay.
out from the far side of it.
Has it been about an hour or has it been less than that?
It's been a little less than an hour. It was 20 minutes to travel with looking at Bettis. It's been about 30 minutes or so you can still have 30 minutes of polymorph.
Just before dark.
Let's.
I'll go run over and look at the smoke.
Let's take a look at that. Yeah.
All right, so you glance over the edge, and it's like billowing up from the position, so you probably want to go around to see where the entrance way. Otherwise, you're putting your head into the smoke.
You're right. Yes, we'll go around and look.
Okay.
Sensible.
You glance down and look inside, and what you see here is about a 20-foot wide kind of half-circle opening in the center. Not natural. This has been hewn. It has a very deliberate arch to it from side to side. The smoke that comes out of it seems to just be riding along the top of what is a cavern that pours deeper into the mountainside.
They just hewn the stone. It's not. They haven't brought stone from anywhere. There's nothing. There's no crystals embedded in the wall or anything yet.
No.
Just a cavern opening.
Mr. Klain, this is a vent, right? For the kiln. They must have hewn some vents for their smoke to escape.
Could be.
So we could get into it from here.
Could, although if you have a hewn for smoke, I imagine that leads probably directly to the fire.
It could, but if we have some way of protecting us from that, maybe you or another magic user could somehow protect us.
I got nothing.
Well, maybe one of the eagles could, but they're busy playing Hotel California.
Thank you. I was hoping for that.
We're not going to do this tonight, or are we?
Well,
maybe we could go down and investigate tonight.
Looks dangerous in there, doesn't it?
It's hard to tell. I mean,
how much heat's coming out of this?
Judging just at this point, it's not a vast amount of heat. It's warm, and definitely it's comforting based on the chilled atmosphere that is currently growing increasingly less and less serviceable for life as the storm begins to increase in intensity.
This hole reminds me of something that Jester was reading earlier. I think the quote was, "And it was really deep."
I don't get that.
It was just something that she read earlier.
I heard it, but this is just a hole in the ground.
Let's
I don't
check
know
out
if
the
this has a metaphor connected to it, or what is the metaphor I'm missing?
I don't know.
Are you stepping in for it?
Can I,
I'll walk in.
in eagle form, go?
We're going in?
Ford just starts walking in.
Ford, you going in?
There's time to talk smut later. I'm going in.
I'm coming with.
Can we fit? Can we fit as eagles, or do we need to?
The eagles, you can fit.
Our awkward like bird walks.
But yeah, it's thankfully it's a wide arch, and the cavern itself, it resembles that same kind of half circle archway. So it's wide, but it's not high enough to the point where you can fly or float. It's kind of like you have about a 5 foot head span before
And
you
two
hit the
things. Is it perfectly circular or is it like flat?
It's a flat floor,
Okay.
and it is a kind of a domed half circle interior.
And on the inside, is it slick with moisture or dry?
Dry.
Is the whole thing pouring smoke out from the top of it?
There's just there looks to be a smoke that is gathered along the top of it.
The top.
So,
Okay.
so as you step in, you kind of stay a little low because the smoke does the fume can fill the headspace at your perfect standing height for most of you especially. So you kind of have to get a little low to get under the layer of heavy fume.
Oh, so
to
as
prevent you from
birds, it's
coughing.
like just up in
It's
our
kind of a
face.
little rough for you guys. You can keep your heads low.
I'm just
Thankfully.
gonna drop.
Okay, so Chester drops the eagle form.
I don't want the smoke in my fur, my hair feathers.
Now I got Hedwig over here.
Caleb, you gonna come back to us? All right.
I'm gonna light up and head.
Bird pecks the top of Knott's head, and Caleb just gives a little innocent kiss the top.
All right, let's go.
Okay. So, continuing in, the dark interior of this cavern begins to give way to a dull orange glow. Maybe 50 or 60 feet in, it begins to curve to the right as the light gets brighter and brighter. Eventually, you can see what looks to be movement, like a flicker, like a firelight source from the inside. And the hallway opens up into a central chamber. Within here, you can see a spacious, open room, itself domed on top. And you can see the channel where the smoke is being funneled towards based on the way it's carved on the inside. There is, in the center, in the heart of this interior grotto, what looks to be a circular 2 to 3 foot high metallic wall, like a pool that is a container in which in the center of it sits boiling, heated molten rock. You can see black iron supports that help maintain the structure of this interior chamber. Almost like a gradual rib cage that continues around the inside of it to keep its structure sound. The air in here is really warm. Not uncomfortably hot, but you can feel a sweat starting to draw itself to your skin surface. The pool of lava that burns in the center there is beneath what looks to be a raised platform that sits about 2 feet above it and is attached to the opposite side of this chamber on its northern end. And atop this kind of extending long platform, you can see what looks to be a great black anvil that is affixed to the edge right above the pool surface. And around it, dozens of chains dangle from the ceiling. And at the end of these chains, at different heights, are various tools and implements.
Is the surface of this magma relatively still, or is it like bloom?
It's relatively still, but occasionally you get like a boom.
Okay.
But it's not roiling, heavily. There are other tunnels that peer off from the central area, and you can see sitting off to the side of the pool, currently in the process of what looks to be whittling a piece of wood, a figure that's sitting. Kind of looks up in your direction, confused. You see a dwarven female, older in her years, white hair and olive skin, a body that is very muscular. Whether it be through genetic lineage or a lifetime of hard work, very intimidating grandmother of a dwarf. Glances over in your direction, wearing these kind of gray robe, apron type accoutrement, bracers on, and is sitting there with a whittling knife and what looks to be a pile of wood, and sets it to the side and goes, "Can I help you?"
Possibly.
Come here. And you see she stands up from the chair like this long, aching stand. Oh, it's been a while. Who are you?
My name is Caduceus Clay. Would you be the keeper of this place?
Aye, one of many. Now, when you say clay, are you one of the clay lot?
If you're of the dust.
I see this as a family meeting. And she kind of comes
in
over
for
towards
it.
you and gives you this kind of big, angry dwarven hug from underneath, which you kind of loom over and have to
I am kneeling. I am kneeling for this. I am kneeling for this.
As you're kind of patting the legs, like, careful with the
very
back.
careful. Yeah.
Oh, we don't get visitors too much these days. This is very nice. Jeremis Dust.
Jeremis, pleasure.
I'm the keeper of the sanctum and the grand matron of the Dust family. I've certainly seen a few clays wander through here in recent years. I didn't know there was more coming.
You did. You have.
Aye.
There have been more clays wandering through.
There have been. Was it Constance and Corin, I believe?
Are those your siblings?
They're a family, yeah.
Came here seeking communion or something. Left lacking materials, it seems. Rather vague and frustrated they were. That was a few years ago.
How did they come together, or were they separate?
Well, they were separate.
Okay.
And there was
mom and my aunt.
Younger Colton also came through. Seemed as confused as they did, and as you do, running a family, no.
Well, we get that.
It's been a few years since I've seen one of your kind. How are things out in South?
Not improved, I suppose, would be the.
Same then.
How are things here? I assume they told you why they came, and that the.
Right. The problem with the Savalier wood and your outskirts. Strange indeed.
There's nothing like that here, then.
No.
Do you always have the, ghosts and stuff outside?
Yeah. You see, there's been a lot of individuals that have been interred here over the years, and some have a place to pass on, some don't and get taken by the plains below, and some just kind of linger. So don't worry about them. If you don't pay them any mind, they won't do any mind to you.
So this kiln is for burning bodies?
It's for many things, but that's one.
We are the Mighty Nein, by the way. We are Caduceus's...
You're not all clays?
No, we are his traveling companions.
Good, I was a bit
friends.
confused. Right. Okay, family friends, that's good.
Do people bring you bodies, or do you just...
Yeah.
Like all the time? Because it seems like it's remote up here.
Lesser and lesser as time goes on. We get some folks from Earthadern who have, want to be left with the pride of the All-Father or the Wild Mother, and they bring their fallen or their dead to be brought to dust and then left to find their destiny in the afterlife.
Earthadern is what she said?
That's the elfin dwarven place.
It was in the brook.
You haven't seen a stone wander through here in the recent years, have you?
No stones. They keep themselves way south.
We've never had one, in my memory anyway, where we come from. Or at least if they did, they didn't make themselves known to me.
Well, to be honest, we haven't really had any clays come by in a long time. Or at all. Until recently.
How much news of the outside world do you get up here?
Not too much beyond what the dreams from Melora come to us, and what the folks from Uthadern come forward and, share with us when they bring their family, or they just looking to learn and craft. And she makes a motion up towards the forge.
Beautiful.
Do you cremate bodies in the same lava pools that you forge weapons, or do you keep it separate for sanitation reasons?
Sanitation, it's fucking fire.
Yeah, it's literally liquid steel.
Yeah, it's all the same.
But I mean, it's
That's as clean as it gets.
What would
just
you?
EBGB.
Well, what would you hope for?
I was just curious if there was a system.
You think they're putting people in the weapons?
That's really cool.
Kind of.
I mean, depending on where you place your interests, maybe, but keep in mind, when the soul's gone, the body's really just meat.
Do you eat people?
Okay.
No.
Okay. He drinks them.
Well, they're tea.
This is escalating quickly.
It's, we'll get into it later. Are you alone up here? Or
No, I've got some family here. And claps loudly. Come on, we've got company again! A little bit of time passes and you see a younger female dwarf emerge from one of the tunnels off to the side. You can see blonde, kind of tangled hair over her olive skin emerges and goes, what's that? Oh, we've got a few, don't we? Okay, I'm Tyler Dust.
Tyler.
I'm the lore keeper of the Kiln and the Cinderella Sanctum, Burning Lodge.
Cinderella.
Welcome.
Caduceus Clay. Pleasure to meet you.
Oh, that is. It's from the Clays again. We have another.
Been hearing that.
Interesting.
Do the stones ever come?
No stones in my time. Sorry.
How were the Clays coming through? Constance and Corn especially. Did they?
I talked with them a bit more than Mom did.
They're all right.
They seemed fine, a bit perturbed, and looking for answers, and they were looking for some this kind of glass stuff.
Glass stuff.
So they had visions of some materials.
You're a lore keeper.
I am.
That means that whatever you talked about with them probably got written down.
Aye.
I don't mean to presume anything, but if it would be possible to get some specifics of what my mother and my aunt and siblings may have talked about. It's been many years since I've seen them. They have not returned. And any clues to their whereabouts or their leads on saving our home temple would be priceless. And I'd be happy, of course. This is nothing for nothing, but anything that you need or any service that I can provide as our families are so inevitably linked, I would be happy to share with you. We do come on business as well. There are things that I was hoping to discuss, but this is...
Of course, any questions you've got, please ask. I mean, we're happy to have company.
You said the stones stay further south?
I think so.
Do you know how much further south? We've kind of come from there.
Don't know. We all kind of went our own ways back in the day and haven't really visited them. Haven't visited us. We've all had our own things to do. No offense. Not really looking forward to going to the Savalier Wood, so we just kind of kept our own.
Oh, that's right. Again, it took us an awful long time becoming.
Yeah, but you did eventually. It was nice. Nice.
Had to happen.
What's in the Savalier Wood? Is that where? That's where we found you, right?
Yeah.
We came there, and then we went away, and then we came back.
That's where he's from.
Yeah, I know, but how far is the Savalier Wood from where we are right now?
Right.
No, I know, but like
Where you are right now?
Oh, in real distance?
in real distance.
It's about 200 miles.
Wow, we've been close to this before.
You were on the cusp of this region, yeah.
It's a rough travel.
Why would they come to you looking for glass?
I don't know. They said they had some sort of visions from the Wild Mother trying to guide them.
Do you make glass here?
No.
Have you? Because you could, you have the heat.
Right, but it's not the kind that they were looking for, at least.
Dungeon Master, can you remind us what the blade of the Star Razor was made out of?
Metal or?
It's made out of metal.
Yeah,
It's not glass.
not glass.
But I do. We do have a piece that may need reforging, and I would be curious to sort of see your process here. I suppose that you have anyone that you're expecting to feed to the fire anytime soon, but I would love to know. I would love to learn as much as I can while I'm here about what you do.
I mean, well, welcome to the Underforge as well. And Tyler points over to it, and kind of you can see on the base of it, on the stone or the metal and stone wall that contains the magma, there is a plaque that reads the. Dust you shall take in what remains of this forgotten hero and walk the mountains until a cave of onyx wall and liquid stone is found. There you shall burn what remains, and the ashes shall be mixed into brick and ink and steel, so that what is made shall hold my mark. Upon this site you shall build a kiln, whose creation shall be my gift to the Allhammer to remind him that nature is material. Decree of the Wild Mother.
Amazing. Just amazing.
Kendall's around here somewhere.
Kendall.
My brother.
Excellent. I would love to meet all of them. We've traveled quite a bit. I'm sure we're a little tired. If it would be possible to stay the night at the very least.
So what kind of quarters do you guys have here?
We don't really have much in the way of guest quarters, but Ichabod is still out with our sons, Broomhelm, and they're off to Uthadurn.
Oh.
Doing a little supply run.
Uthadurn. How is Uthadurn? We haven't,
It's a lot of people. Not my kind. I kind of like the quiet. But, it's close by comparatively. It's got things that we obviously don't have access to here. And so we do often, either some folks come to us to trade and sell, or we go over there and do the same. And when things run low, we have to make a journey ourselves. That kind of a deal.
How far is that journey?
It's maybe a day and a half travel, not too far.
It might be on the way out.
I was really hoping that TravelerCon would have like a hotel nearby or something, but this is a little more difficult.
Is this where TravelerCon's happening?
I thought that was a different volcano.
Well, I thought about this volcano.
The vision that you were given from the Wild Mother, the one that began to give you flashes of this. Elements of it keep kind of sparking in your memory.
Oh.
And there was one that involved taking these shards of green glass-like material and placing them within fire. And they would be transformed.
But we do not have green glass, if I recall.
Wait, what about that bag that you took?
What bag?
Wait.
Don't you have a bag of that green stone?
I have a bag of green dust, yes.
I know, my
Does
brain
it
is...
look like it could have been crushed glassy sort of stuff?
I don't know, does
That
it?
bag of green dust
Well,
that
that's
he
gonna
took?
become powdery
She
dust.
took?
Oh, which bag?
My bag of residuum.
Residuum, okay. You take it out and glance at it. Do you show it to Clay?
Sure, Clay. Jester thinks that this green powder is green glass.
It does have a very, very similar color.
How angry would you be if I tried?
To snort it?
That looks painful. No,
To do an alchemical work on it? Of course, I would be happy to assist.
What is alchemical?
Well, it's taking natural things, but doing a lot more measuring and tinkering with things that don't mix in nature normally.
I think maybe we need to feed that to the fire. I think maybe it might even have something. I pull out the broken sword. Show them what I have.
I'm gonna need Kendall for this. I'm just a lore keeper here. This is more Kendall, and eventually you see kind of coming through.
I thought it was Kendall.
You see Kendall.
Kendall.
Kind of grabbing his head. You can see the dwarf brother to Tyler come through. Short blonde hair, mutton chops curled into a finely groomed mustache. Kind of comes back. Right, I heard you calling. What's the... Oh, who are these people?
There's Clay and friends.
Hi, Candle Dust. What you need?
We have a lot. I know that my family was here talking about glass, and it occurs to us that this maybe could be what they were talking about. And we have a broken sword. Where do I even begin? Things are complicated out in the south. The world is being unkind to the natural world right now.
And this big, ugly guy named Laughing Hand, he got loose, and Clay thinks that maybe that the sword that we can reforge will help defeat him, because he's really hard to beat.
Kendall takes the sword and goes like, I mean, this is very fine Uthodurnian craft. At least it was added to it. This was, you can see the base very plainly is not Uthodurnian, but it has been further refined by that man. But the whole blade is snapped in the center, and but I keep the forge, but I'm not a master craftsman. This is, this looks like a Dolgrim, Mike.
A what?
Dolgrim?
Dolgrim?
Is that on the map?
That's the sword maker?
Could be. Steve's come back here many a times making...
Dolgrim?
Dolgrim?
Does he live in Uthodurn?
Now, you guys recall, Dolgrim Smeltborn was the name that came up in Angus. I haven't seen him in some time, but he's from Uthodurn.
Didn't know. Good reason to go.
So we can get...
So this isn't something that can be fixed here, then?
It's not my specialty.
So
I probably have to talk to him.
What about this? And I'm going to show the residuum, the bag of residuum.
Tyler, you take a look at this. She looks over this. Puts her hands through it. This is residuum, but it's in its fine form. What are you looking for?
He said he saw visions of glass.
Could this be the glass that my family talked about?
Hold on a second. And she goes through and leaves for a moment, and then comes back with a book and starts thumbing through. And
they've got books.
Right. So residuum. Right. Powerful, very, very basic, arcane material. Harnesses can be utilized to replace and act as other expensive type materials and components for spells and uses. Very good to know, very important. From what I can tell here, interesting. All right, so the glass that you're asking for is refined residuum. It's a rare material this side of Exandria, unfortunately. The primary source is a place called Whitestone in Taldore, but they export in small batches.
Can you make it?
Wow.
It's just a...
Okay,
Not much I know about that, unfortunately.
We probably need to go to Whitestone to get it.
Well, no.
Could you melt it down?
Yeah, I'm familiar with the
We can
basics
certainly
of
try.
making glass.
By all means.
We could try.
Do I recall? Is this the kiln I saw in the vision? Is this? This is.
No, different one.
Do you remember this
cool. There could be multiples in the building.
Sure.
I don't know. Yeah.
Look at it hurt. Come on.
Nothing if not a believer in a leap of faith.
Yeah, try to make glass out.
I'm going to act out what I saw in my dream.
Okay.
Do you need
As best
help?
I can.
What tools?
Act out. What did you see? What did you see in your dream?
Do an interpretive dance first.
We it was dropping the glass into the pool.
Okay.
Correct.
So
Got it, got it.
should not try
First
to
we need
turn it
glass.
into glass?
Can you turn it into glass?
I can try.
I don't think it will.
Okay. What would you like to try?
I would like to think back on on anything that I might have seen or know about glass making or melting or
It's
pouring
a
it into
heat
form.
and crucible.
Yeah.
Sand granules being
Yeah.
brought to a certain point where they melt together.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, throwing this into the pit may do it.
Yeah. Well, we need something to put it in, right?
It would.
Do they have some
At
forms?
which point, Kendall goes like, I got something here I can help you. Reaches up to one of the chains and pulls off what looks to be a long handheld crucible that's a thick steel bowl at the end of it.
All right.
Well, a question though. So your vision you had is to put glass into the magma here.
Sure.
Yeah. So
I mean,
the same thing would be dispersed. It would be destroyed. The same thing will happen to the dust. So I'm not sure we need
Yeah,
to
but the dust
make
is not
it.
refined. What he's looking for is refined.
but still, it's worth looking at, and these visions are not always necessarily
some of it.
Impurities come to the surface.
are not always necessarily literal. Sometimes it's just about feeling like you're doing the right thing.
Oh, so it's about faith.
It's about faith.
You want refined glass? Is that right? All right.
Don't know. This may work, this may not.
Beyond faith, though.
Can I?
It doesn't hurt to take the extra steps.
Yeah, that one.
Just to do it. Because faith is great and all, but also, taking a few extra steps. Just for precaution.
And if you have the time.
We have time.
What do you propose other than just using the crucible there?
Oh, no, I'm saying do
the
that as
crucible.
opposed to throwing the dust in the magma.
I don't remember. I got a bag of this stuff. I don't know how much that is, but I would want to try with maybe like a third or a quarter of it.
No. Whole thing.
You want to do the whole thing?
The whole bag that you have is about that big.
Oh, well, let's just try how much will fit in the crucible for now.
I was thinking like a marble.
It accounts to, if you want to mark this down, if you're taking a look at it, you're not making an intelligence check, actually.
Natural 20.
Great. You have... Great. You have 950 gold worth of residuum.
Okay.
Which means 950 gold worth of material components from spells can be replaced with this residuum.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Any components for any spell?
For any spell.
Universal donor.
Essentially, yeah. That's why residuum is a useful material.
That's why Wipestone got money.
Question.
Well, Wipestone's refined stuff actually itself can enhance and quicken the enchanting process, which is why it's so sought after, and it's a definitive secret of Wipestone.
That's magical.
On the broken blade
What a
of the
great
Star
place.
Razor, the runes that are in the blade, are they engraved in like a relief or are they etched in? Like, is there a space where something could fill that rune, or is it more like a fine inlay?
From what you can, it appears both, actually. There are runes across the blade that are dwarven in design. Those appear to have been placed post-original development. The rest of it is kind of an elvish base script, just more of a scrolling and a light etching.
Got it.
We need advantages if we're going to do this fight. If we go back in where we are now, the best thing that any of us can do is get better right now.
Yeah.
So, just to clarify, we can try to make this glass, but what will it get us? What's the end? You're going to throw it in a pool?
I'm going to throw it in the pool.
Okay, so you want to use all of it or just some of it?
Third is a healthy amount.
Okay.
Why don't we look at it as an experiment?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
I'll take about 300 or so.
Yeah.
All right, about 300 gold worth, which is a nice, like, apple-sized amount of this residuum.
A handful.
Yeah.
And then using my alchemist's tools, can I ascertain if it's mostly pure, if it's corrupted with any other stuff? He said we need it refined, so I'm just gonna see if I can, I don't know, sort it,
Just
sift
make
it.
an intelligence check.
Okay.
Cut with angel dust.
This intelligence check is
Brought to you by the
check is 14.
Okay.
14. Looking through the samples of dust you have, it all seems pretty uniform. You don't see it mingled with any other outside materials. It's pure.
Okay. All right, let's just put it in the crucible.
You place it in the crucible and kind of, with a little bit of guidance from Kendall, you kind of lower it close right near the surface where you can see the metal beginning to heat.
Okay.
Brighter and brighter till it's a dull orange to a brighter orange to kind of a slightly yellow tint to it. And you're having to, the layered, leather wrapping of it, you can smell kind of a little bit of the burn from where the metal is starting to cause the handle to slightly singe. And you've been holding it there for now 6 minutes, 7 minutes.
How soon should you take it off?
I don't know. Do I know?
Not to know.
Everybody knows.
You would not know? No. Have you
don't.
made glass before?
You've never worked with a residuum. Glass can happen pretty quickly, especially at this temperature, so.
I don't think it can hurt to just keep cooking it.
Can't you burn
see
it
the
off?
inside?
Maybe you can char it.
I'll cool it off and see if there's any change.
Okay, you pull it up and look. It is as granular as it was when you placed it in there.
Whoa.
It is unaffected by the heat.
How hot is it though?
magma.
Oh, the temperature of the residuum? You go ahead and place your fingers onto the residuum dust.
No, I'm
over it.
Oh, over it? I mean, the metal is emanating a lot of heat.
Ooh, don't burn yourself there.
Super hot.
Do I recall any sort of chemicals that would help a process of this?
I mean, there are many different chemicals you could try. If you want to make an intelligence check plus your alchemy proficiency bonus.
Alchemy proficiency? What's that mean?
Just adding you a benefit for your experience.
No, but I mean, where?
You just add your proficiency bonus.
Okay, cool. Proficiency, we're at 6 now, right? So, 4?
4.
Oh, 15 then.
15. I mean, there's different chemicals that can have
like a catalyst.
Yeah,
some
catalysts
catalyst
for different reactions. There are, sulfurs or.
Vials of.
So I'm going to walk over to the bag. I'm going to put my hand in if that's all right.
Sure.
And just take a scoop of it out.
Are you going to snort it?
No. I'm going to walk over to the fire. And I'm going to hold my hand as close as it can get to over the fire before it singes.
It's very hot. And your hairs on your arm begin to kind of curl back.
And I'm going to scatter it in.
Okay. It all kind of drifts. You can see the dark spots where now it's hit. With that handful, it's about 150 of that residuum that is taken off.
Sure.
You watch it kind of hit it and just kind of rest there before eventually it kind of just vanishes into the molten rock.
All right. Now we know.
Now we know.
It's the trick with faith.
Is that it's always an experiment?
Is that if you're not willing to move forward in it until you know, then you don't need it, do you? If you know, it's not faith.
So in my memory, I thought of no particular catalyst that might make this.
There are many catalysts.
Lower melting points of different sort of.
There are many catalysts here. For the sake of me not going here and spewing a bunch of incorrect chemical information for all of our chemists who are watching the show who would then just destroy me on Twitter, there are a handful that you think of.
Might I have anything in my possession that I could try?
Sure. I'll say go ahead and make another alchemist proficiency if you want to try and pull out and refine some of this.
Okay.
It takes a little bit for it to cool off. The stone, the residuum dust, is super hot in the crucible, so it's conducting the heat. It's just not changing.
I've rolled a 14.
A 14? You pull through and you pull out some acids. You pull out some thicker tar-based materials. You think of some viscous oils that might have some sort of a transitive property to it. Nothing seems to be adjusting its format.
I'm going to start casting commune as I sit by the kiln.
Okay.
I knew I shouldn't have left Yeza. We need him now here. Quick, teleport me back to
God, no. Don't overreact.
You could send a message to him.
Phone a friend.
What should I say to Yeza? Like, okay, what?
Refining glass. What catalyst should use? Maybe you can say, should we use?
Maybe
It's not glass.
Maybe
It's not
that's
glass,
what it
it's
is.
white.
Oh,
it's a green
green
residuum
glass.
thing. Yeah.
Residuum. How do we turn residuum into glass?
You might not know what
Residuum from this.
Everybody knows what residuum is, especially alchemists.
Is that true?
To your knowledge, no. It's actually it's pretty narrow knowledge, largely in arcane fields and magic practitioners that know of it, and even then, it's a pretty rare material.
You can try.
But yes, I might.
I've just taken some incense and just scattered it in front, like right at the base of the kiln, so that I can breathe it in from the kiln as I sit and wait for the trance to hit.
Okay.
It fuses with your sense.
As the kind of smoke from the various bits of incense kind of burn up and fill the space with like a heavy lavender smell that mingles with the rest of the smoky interior and kind of sweat-like scent that fills the air. You watch the smoke kind of swirl around Caduceus in an unnatural way before dissipating. In a weird way, kind of a bit of a warmth kind of hits your clavicle and chest momentarily forward as you watch Caduceus's eyes close. And the heat rolls away, and much like the early morning light of a dawning sun, you feel the warmth surround you and the wrapping and safe presence of the mother that's guided you.
I'm supposed to be searching for the refined residuum for this kiln.
That's your first question?
Yeah. It's a yes or no.
You sense that the visions that were once given to you come back clearer a second time, and you see these larger shards of condensed, jagged but still smooth and polished in places residuum glass. You gather the answer is clarifying it to be a definitive yes.
Is white stone the most accessible? Is that the closest place to find such material?
You see visions of alabaster mountains surrounding a valley filled with a dark forest. You see elements of green glass being gathered into crates. You see them being placed onto the back of carts, then onto ships, sailing off across the sea. And you get the sense the answer is no.
Will I find the man who can reforge this sword in the city that he is from? I can't pronounce it because I have multiple.
Uthadurn.
Thank you.
Lord Dern.
The man who can reforge this sword in the city where he's from.
Can I find him in that city?
You
Uthadurn.
sense the warm breath of the mother across your back as the arms kind of encircle you and embrace a comfortable mother holding a child from behind. And you feel the nod of her cheek against yours, affirming your question as a yes. As her grip pulls away from you, the love that's encircled you doesn't entirely leave, but withdraws. And once more, the scent of smoke and soot fills your senses, and your eyes open, slightly watering. Sitting amongst the underforge, your friend staring at you.
We need to find the refined residuum.
Well, what if we can make it here?
We can't make it here. I don't think it can be made. I think it can only be found.
Do you think we could go to Laura Dern and find it?
Maybe. I don't know. I think that that's going to be part of what we do next. But I do know that if you're willing, tomorrow, we can go get your sword reforged.
Is there more you need to do here before we leave?
I need to talk, and I would appreciate spending the night, but I get the distinct impression that I'm going to be back very quickly.
Wait, I have a question though. Dolgrim, the guy that forged this sword, right? Kendall, you said that Dolgrim comes here to work sometimes?
But hasn't in a while.
Dolgrim has occasionally come through, when I was very young.
Is this anvil like stronger or better than something that he would have at Uthadurn?
Probably. This is a place where many great crafts have been made, and you watch as Tyler turns and points towards the walls, and you see those metal, the metal bars and braces that kind of curl up along the walls. At a glance, you can see there's a bunch of script scrawled across them.
Ooh.
Dwarvish runes. These all tell tales of all the fine crafts that have been made here.
Oh.
Wow.
They keep a ledger.
Do we see anything about the sword?
Yeah, anything. Anyone who reads.
Who reads Dwarvish?
I read Dwarvish!
You do. Hey! You do!
Ah! Languages are a big part of the Cobalt Soul, and I've picked none that were useful thus far. Sorry.
Well, here you go.
Those are some pretty good
I read them.
You were that kid who took Latin.
I
Deep
just
speech
haven't.
was good.
I thought deep speech was
know.
going to be
Can you
relevant.
find it?
It's
Can
not
you
yet.
find it? Can you find the sword?
I look for the star razor.
Heck,
Star.
read them all.
Just read them.
I
whole
read
fucking
them
thing.
all.
I mean, you go through and scan through them, and it's talking about many weapons that have been made for ceremonial reasons for different families from all across Exandria that have made pilgrimages here to have things made by their finest craftsmen and smithies. Some of them speak of things that were recovered from the calamity and before that have been fixed and repaired, elements of ceremonial armor and religious icons that have been then, after being crafted in the name and spirit of the various deities that are held here, which are adjacent between Melora and the Allhammer together, Moradin. Raven Queen, talk of Arathis and other entities that are adjacent to those figures as well, having various artifacts made, repaired, or initially constructed here. The Underforge is also spoken of as a lesser sister creation of another object referred to as the Core Anvil that was lost deep beneath the Osmit Sea long ago.
That sounds very familiar.
No, it doesn't. Never heard of it before.
From another time.
Previously.
Core Anvil?
Core Anvil.
Yeah.
She's worship?
That's where I made the shards.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. That's right.
That dream from another time.
That big dude. That big
So much
dude.
throwback today.
This is some intense
This is
throwback.
really good. This is really good.
I'm having a very hard time. I'm having a very hard time separating my desires from my characters right now. It's very, just a lot of candy on the table.
Wait, is that it? Nothing of the Star Razor or Dueth Duar?
If you want to spend a while tonight, it's a lot of reading to do, but you do eventually come under the Star Razor.
Yes.
It speaks of, and you see the name Dulgrim Smeltborn come up a number of times over the period of a number of centuries, as essentially kind of the Hattori Hanzo of this realm. A fabled weaponsmith who had been called to create implements of war by the elves of Malaesmere. If you want to roll a history check.
Yeah, I do want to roll a history check. How did you?
Cocked.
How is that cocked? That is.
It's cocked.
It's impressive. Roll again.
Leaning on a D4.
No, I mean it is cocked, but it's leaning. That's why.
Pretty too.
That's close to the same thing. What'd you say? History?
I was strange to see it cocked in that way.
Crazy die.
20 total.
20 total. Okay. Malaesmere, you do recall as one of the previous powerful elven nations. At one point, early in this age, the prominent elven society here on Wildmount. However, through some strange, not entirely understood cataclysm, the city fell and the surrounding forest was corrupted, which is now known as the Savalirwood. The elves scattered in two directions. Some of them fled westward and then became the elves that eventually were taken to the Empire in Baestiel and throughout the rest of western Wanandir and Wildmount. The others went northward and founded Uthadern. Or didn't found Uthadern, sorry. Joined Uthadern, which had previously been founded by the dwarves.
Half went to Uthadorn, half went to the Sapler Woods.
Correct.
Okay.
Or fled there and went into the Empire.
And then was the
Sevelier Woods
Empire.
is where it was.
Gotcha. Oh,
Malaesmere.
And looking at looking here, you can see in the center of the Sevelier on the map you have the ruins of Malaesmere are marked there as well.
All right.
Yep.
Should I send a message to Dolgrim and see if he's around?
How do you do that? Do you do you need to know what he looks like?
Oh, do I?
I don't know. Do you?
I think if I just know his name, I'd be wrong.
Sending.
What if there's two?
I'm going to look.
Or we can just have a good old-fashioned quest.
Send a short. No creature with which you are familiar. Am I familiar with him? I know his name.
You know the name. That is a level of familiarity you can certainly try.
I could ask the dusts what he looks like, what his personality's like.
Yeah, you can go ahead and ask Jeremus, who's the oldest and the one who seems to have interacted the most.
Right. Yeah, he's kind of a squat lad, broad shoulders, got kind of a black hair, thin in the front but strong, heavy, thick mat in the back, bulbous nose, looks like it's taken a few hits in his youth, piercing, bright, light blue eyes, almost like a grey-white in colour.
Dwarf? Elf?
Dwarf.
And goes in this full kind of description of kind of the different stages in which they had met and the times that he had visited to do the forging here.
How old must he be now?
Last time we saw him was very old, in this, I think, nearing 4th century, if not partially into
How old do dwarves usually?
That's like super old for a dwarf.
It's gonna be hard for him to get here then.
Yeah.
It's a day and a half journey.
Well, may I ask,
but he's like
is it possible that you have a teleportation circle here on the premises?
You all look at each other. No.
That's that.
Well, you can still send him a message.
I'll still send him a
Maybe you
message.
can tell by his voice when he picks up how feeble he is.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, we're gonna head to the city anyway.
I was gonna say if he's able, then he could just come here. But if he's like,
Plus a heads up is good.
I think-
save us some time.
I think showing proper respect, though, I think just going to the place and showing our sincerity and our sincere desire to have this done. We're not
We're
just
still
trying
gonna
to
go. We're just
speed
telling him
things
we're
along.
on our way.
I actually agree with Caduceus. I don't think you want to pop into a stranger's head and say, hey, here we are, here we come.
Thank you.
well, is it rude or something?
It
Might be a
little bit, yeah.
Really?
He could be eating dinner.
I think so.
Do you think that people don't like it when I send them messages?
I think people like it when they can already picture your beautiful face.
Yeah, when they know you, it's of course that's a different thing. But a stranger popping into your consciousness is
jarring.
a bit
strange.
invasive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would it be all right if we stayed the night?
Yeah, of course. You have my other son's room for the night. It's probably not the best, but it'll work. At the very least, we'll get you some blankets, and you may not need them. It's not very cold in here.
I'd love to see as much of this place as possible, and take a look at anything that might have been written down about my family.
Tyler, show you around. No worries.
You don't have like an armory or weapons or
library.
He just looks to Tyler and goes, No library.
I think she is the library.
One of them had a book a second ago.
Yeah, they had a book.
She still has the book and she kind of tucks it in her robes a bit.
Is she deceiving us? Is there a library?
No, not like, there's no book trying to hide it, but just like instinctually kind of pulling it in a
Sure.
defensive, protective manner.
But is there a library?
There's no library. You're just asking about that. Make an insight check.
Library.
Get your
Don't lie to us. We know there's a library.
fucking library.
Show me your goddamn library.
Pull her out the window.
The library's in the chair, isn't it?
13?
13?
Yeah.
Kind of hard to tell. You're not sure if she's telling the truth or not, but she seems definitely protective of the book that she's holding.
What is that book that you're reading? Is it good?
I didn't read it. I wrote notes and parts of it. This was the one that.
A journal.
This is it's more of a chronicle, I guess you'd say. Various things we hear from the outside, and when folks come and bring us books and historical elements, we don't get to go a lot of places, so it's good for me to read them and learn to know about it and keep track of it.
Do you want me to write down some stuff that you could learn?
Make a persuasion check.
Oh no, in the trade
Oh,
books.
that doesn't count.
Doesn't count. You gotta roll.
That was a really good roll.
Better than that.
That's good. Where's
14.
Thank you.
Rolled a 14.
Couldn't find persuasion. Where's persuasion? Oh, 14.
I mean, you seem nice enough. Sure.
I certainly
I
will.
sit down cross-legged on the floor and
They can be a lot, but I definitely vouch for them.
Well, she definitely stands over you.
Yes, I'm writing very interesting things
Oh, that's
about
nice.
the world.
Caduceus is vouching for you, Jester.
Yes, it really is.
All right.
I am
Oh no.
an avid reader, and I don't want to force the issue. I don't want to be presumptuous, but I would love to read your writing. I don't know if you would consider loaning a book. It has been a while.
Loaning, not so much, but if you're curious and you want to read some specific tidbits, maybe I can, make them available.
Is it all your writing, or it's multiple?
No. It's generations and generations. I'm just the current lore master.
Oh, maybe the
Lorekeeper.
oldest. Could I read the earlier parts?
Sure.
Perhaps.
Right.
Don't you have some books you could try?
Are there any? Have you read everything that's or a lot of what's here?
I have a lot of time here.
Have you read anything about the Crawling King?
All the tales of the calamity and the certain elements of his doings. There, Torug is the name of him. Big nasty fella, worm under the planet.
It's a problem again at the moment. So
that's not good.
No.
Yeah, you haven't happen to have any pesky demons, fiendish infestations around the mountain?
No.
By chance?
Should we?
No pesky demon weapon killing items, do you?
Fresh out, I'm afraid.
It's been a
Sorry about
rough.
that.
It's been a hard year.
Hey, you all do look a bit haggard.
It's been haggering. I suppose, other than just reading about my family to see if they may have mentioned where they're going after this, or if what their plans were.
I think they were going to the stones.
All three of them?
Well, they said they were eventually making their way there.
Yeah.
The stones. The stones.
What stones?
The stones. Whitestone.
No, the Stones is a family.
Oh, the
Yeah,
stone.
but what if they're in Whitestone?
Is Whitestone south?
I don't know. I don't know where Whitestone is.
Why is that?
It's in.
I know damn well
It's
it
in
is.
Taldory. Calgary. It's in Calgary.
All three
It's in
temples
Calgary.
are in the continent.
Good rodeo there.
Good rodeo.
Just happened.
Yeah. Nothing else that they mentioned, and it was my mom, my aunt, my aunt, and was one of the sisters who was just to make sure I got them all right.
Right, and Jermis was like, it was Constance and Corin, I believe, and Colton.
Colton. All right.
Constance, Corin, and Colton.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Clay.
Just noticing the theme as well.
Yeah.
I thought I knew every face you made. This is a new one. I don't actually have any reference for it at all.
Could be gas.
Yeah, could be gas.
It's been a long journey.
You don't happen to have hot springs here by any chance, do you? Or crystals anywhere, or God forbid, anywhere where I could find some spores or something living in these caves. I would like to get a sense if there's any life in here, something that likes the heat.
I mean, there's all sorts of strange mold that kind of gathers at certain places. Try not to eat that. I'm looking for places to bathe. Honestly, right down at the base of the lake during the day, about maybe 100 feet back from where the magma hits the surface. Water's actually pretty warm.
Any lichen down there or otherwise, something?
Maybe.
All right.
And there's plenty of game on the outskirts.
And the spirits.
Kendall does a lot of hunting for us, and
spirits don't bother you while you're bathing.
I said, pay them no mind, they won't pay you.
They seemed to like we were reading them, or Jester was reading them.
Task Love. I held up the book.
Oh no.
You see, Tyler goes, I haven't read that one. What's that one about?
Oh, it's really good. Do you want to borrow it? I mean, for as long as we're here, we're going to be here all night, maybe? Okay, good.
Have you read Ghost Stick? Same author.
No, but if you guys are going to Ithadern, if you can pick me up a copy, maybe, if you're coming back.
Yeah.
It's a crime story.
Yeah, you
Very
love
rare.
it.
Very rare. Hard to
Supernatural.
find.
All right. As you guys sit down to begin making your notes into a book, and as you watch over the shoulder and begin a conversation about exchanging information, and the rest of you are shown to your quarters here within the Cinderest Sanctum, the Burning Lodge, we're going to go and take a break. We'll be back here in a few minutes. Hey, Ghost Dicks. Before we leave, we do have our giveaway. We have a, I'm going to mispronounce them always, this delightfully bright orange Padak Dice Vault. It's a really, really cool color. So this will be going away to one of you lucky winners from our friends at Wormwood. Tonight's code word is volcano. Put the word volcano once. Put the word once into the chat. More than that, you'll be disqualified. And for US and Canada only, excluding Quebec, we'll have our winner here shortly. See you guys in a minute.
Damn it, you stink, you're out of control. You got the perfect warlock, her weapons and supplies. But you need a place to track your stuff, cause you're so disorganized. You click open the webpage, you heard about a critical role, and now you're ready to kick some butt in that mine shot full of no's. It's TNT! TNT Beyond! Yeah, TNT! TNT Beyond! You got your stats, you got your swords, and you got your invisible wall! It's TNT!
Hi, I'm Benwin Bronzebottom, celebrity dwarf and video game enthusiast, and this is my sidekick, Crowy.
Hello.
We're here to tell you about Untitled Champions of the Forgotten Realms, a Dungeons & Dragons-based strategy management game from Codename Entertainment. They're Canadian, so you know it's good.
Let's talk about the game. Did you ever play Cookie Clicker?
Of course not.
This game is a management game like that, but with far more emphasis on strategy. And with a flavoring of D&D's lore and legendary heroes, you can unlock your favorite champions like Farida from Aaron M. Evans' Brimstone Angels saga, Minskin Boo from Baldur's Gate, and the fourth and final member of Acquisitions Incorporated the C-Team, Amy Falcone's Walnut Dongras.
The K is silent.
Create the best adventuring party possible based on the formation options, your character's ability, and the obstacles and enemies you face.
Or you just randomly click on things like I do and hope for the best.
You can click on enemies to assist your champions, or you can set them up and walk away and let them do their thing. It's entirely up to you.
I'm playing on the toilet right now.
Why wouldn't you be? Untitled Champions is available on all your favorite gaming platforms, including tablets, for the low, low price of free. So download it now.
End with joke.
You're not supposed to read
it. It says end with joke.
No, we're supposed to come up with a joke to go with where it says end with joke.
I don't know. End with joke is pretty funny.
Wait, on three. Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
End with joke. I think it's funny. It's very funny.
Good evening, my devilish bees. I'm here to tell you about a very special one-shot coming to the Critical Role channel, brought to you by our good friends at Chaosium. What shadows lurk about the Crystal Palace? Find out this Monday, July 29th at 7 p.m. Pacific. If you missed the live broadcast, you can catch the VOD on YouTube Wednesday, July 31st. I'll be joined by a wonderful cast of characters, including Marisha Ray, Erica Ishii, Liam O'Brien, Phil Lamar, Ashley Birch, and the sure to be terrified Travis Willingham. I may have chewed that a little hard. See you soon.
Last time on Talks Machina.
This year we have a really special treat. For the first time ever, we are excited to show you the first 3 never-before-seen pages of the second issue, which comes out August 14th. Write it down, put it in your phone. But that's cool, but what's even cooler is instead of just showing it to you, we're gonna have the cast do a read-through of those 3 pages. That sound fun? Sounds fun to me. All right, Matthew Mercer.
Alrighty, so
Okay, we're ready then.
We're doing it?
We're doing it live. All right, so for those of you who have caught up, this takes place in Westruun, shortly after meeting Pike and searching as to how Grog has managed to vanish from the group, which is actually how the second session of our home campaign began. So, beginning.
Grog, my boy, what are you doing at Gat Shadow? A bad place, a very bad place.
Don't worry, we'll find him.
What can you tell us about Gat Shadow, Mr. Trickfoot?
Well, many around here call it the Cursed Mountain. They say madness lies deep beneath the rock, a power that draws all manner of vile things to it.
Vile, huh? That's certainly one way to describe Grog. Big idiot.
It's okay to be worried about him. We'd better get going.
We're a we now?
Oh, that's my line. I was entranced by your goddamn acting. It's going to be incredibly dangerous. You should really stay here. Leave this to the professionals.
I know it's dangerous. That's what the armor and the weapons are for.
Oh, okay.
Grog is my friend, and if he's in trouble, I'm gonna help. Besides, the Everlight can provide us guidance in finding him. Unless one of you happens to be a cleric.
I guess we're a we now.
Well, good luck! Keep them safe, Pike!
Oh, well, aren't you just the cutest?
Oh, I wish I was a bear.
Pardon my asking, Pike, but how did Grog come to live in your home? He's just, well, he's so big?
Yeah.
End of scene.
There you go. There you go.
Just a tease. Little tease.
Hello, my name's Ryan. My question's for Matt. Matt, I'm actually a close friend of your personal trainer, Ferris. He may have,
Oh, no way!
Yeah.
That's awesome!
Yeah, so he may have mentioned I'd be coming to ask a question.
Yeah, no, he talked about you the other day. Good pleasure to meet you.
Sort of related to that, I know with your busy schedule with voice acting, all the gigs you kind of get, what kind of goes into like the mental and maybe even physical preparation of DMing for Critical Role every week?
That's a good question.
Yeah, paint us a picture. What's the montage look like?
I'm working on that, honestly. All of this is very exciting. It's also very, it's incredible. It's time consuming in the best way, and it's also something that is scary. All of this attention and all this, positivity it is a very scary thing for us to handle and be the front of. But that also makes us want to protect that much more. So there's a lot of effort going into my own mental health and us checking in as friends and making sure that thread is still the baseline, like I mentioned earlier. So yeah, I'm all these things I'm trying to be better about. It's an ongoing process, and I'm not always the best at it, and I falter and I stumble and I pick myself back up. But I think that accountability has been really helpful for me, both from my friends and from your friend Ferris kicking my ass during the week.
Yeah,
So yeah, just trying to make the push to do that.
Yeah.
You don't have to be perfect at it, but just making the effort and knowing it's okay to stumble and then just pick yourself back up and keep going forward has been huge for me.
My question's for Sam. It's kind of a jokey thing, but it's been in my brain since Knott's whole deal came out. Is there a particular reason why you chose to play two small characters with a secret child 2 campaigns in a row?
Yeah, Sam.
I can answer this one. He's not very bright.
I have one idea, and I'm sticking to it. The small thing is partly because of Liam O'Brien, because he picks my characters for me. But also because even though I'm a 6-foot-tall man, I have like a small man disease, where I just feel like I should be even bigger. I don't know. The kid thing, Matt chose the first kid.
Yeah, you didn't know about Kaylee in the first campaign.
I did not. It was Kaylee is probably not alone, right? Like, Scanlan probably has like a bunch.
Come on, Matt, give us a number.
Roll a d10.
Only a d10?
Right?
What's the multiplier?
Yeah, d10 plus 4.
For each city in.
But no, I have children in real life, and I love them. And so I think about them all the time, and I kind of want to think about them in the game too. And that's it.
Hey, Christina, package.
Hello, Christina. Tell me your backstory. Have you always wanted to be a voice actor?
He's here.
Who's here?
Delightful. Unrivaled. Beauteous. Sublime. Ceramic.
The best part of this mug is that it can hold ale.
Subscribe. Or don't subscribe. That's not a question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to ponder the pros and more pros of Twitch or Twitch Prime, or to take hands and gift new subs to critters who find they can't afford them, to play, to sleep, no more. And by asleep to say the cast and crew of Critical Role might find their naps around the hectic schedule of a live broadcast that we have brought for your consumption, both critter and fan alike. To play or sleep. No sleep, but just to stream. Aye, there's the rub. For with your subscription, what streams may come. Oh man, that is a fucking tagline. Do we got that? Oh, that is Twitch poetry. Oh, anyway, subscribe to Critical Role. Use Twitch Prime to subscribe. Gift some subscriptions. You got it. Wrong soliloquy for the skull, but that's fucking good.
welcome back. So, before we get back into the game, we have our winner of the Poduk, Dice Vault, some people have corrected, as well as Poduk, some people have corrected. I've gotten multiple different pronunciation corrections on that, so I don't know who's right. Internet, always useful. But the winner of the Dice Vault is Tark-Tarine. Tark-Tarine.
He's actually corrected on that, yeah.
I'm sure I will be. I'm corrected on everything I say. Congratulations.
Tack turn.
We'll get this to you ASAP. Well done. All right.
Sigil.
Made up words.
It's the city.
200 years could pass and you could be right after a while. This is how language works.
Good.
You're just ahead of your time.
Join me. All right.
It's a lot of words out there, guys.
You spend the evening in the Cinderella Sanctum. Is there anything you guys wish to achieve in the evening, or do you want to go ahead and move on to the next day's activity?
Just some ghost fucking.
Hey, we get to heal.
Oh, that's good.
Tyla is completely taken with Dusk Love.
Oh, good. Then she's going to enjoy what I wrote in the book that she let me
Oh, no.
Saw it happen.
Oh, I saw What did you write in the book?
Oh, I just wrote a wonderful story about Petunia and her lover, Captain Tusktooth, and their adventures on the high seas.
God, this campaign is so grimdark.
This is
alrighty.
Did I read anything interesting? Did it make me happy?
Yeah, you read a lot of interesting things. You read a lot of elements of history and yeah, I mean.
Can I get a plus 0.1 to all my history rolls?
You now get to roll with enthusiasm. History checks.
Hey, Jester?
Yeah?
You got that thing where you send messages, right? Do you have any more of those?
Yeah, I've got a bunch.
Can I ask like a favor?
Of course. You can ask anything for it.
If I like conjured an image of what Vandrin looks like, could you send him a message?
I can give it a try, yeah.
Okay. And I'll use minor illusion to just create like a little relief of what his face looks like.
Okay.
What do you want me to say to him?
Will you just ask him, tell him that I'm okay, and if, I don't know, I want to know how he's doing, but Caduceus checked in with the Wild Mother and said that he was trying to atone for his past. I'm not sure what to say. I just feel like he doesn't care to be found, or I don't know what he wants.
Maybe he doesn't know you're alive either. Maybe he's been searching for you.
I guess that's right. Would you do me a solid and just do what you do?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, I'll cast Sending.
The image of Andrin as it appears, you can see, looks to be a human man in his maybe early 50s or so. Skin battered, skin tanned from years at sea under the bleeding sun. Ashen blonde kind of beard that goes down to about the clavicle. A kind but hard face. One of the ears looks slightly cauliflowered on one side. But that you can see the hairlines receding on the top a bit, but it is long across the shoulders.
What about his eyes? What color are they?
The eyes themselves actually would be kind of a deep blue-green color. Very pretty, though very much hidden in amongst of what it would be not considered a handsome face classically, but definitely the face of someone who's seen much of the world, it would seem.
Okay. Oh, I hope I'm not bothering him after what you guys said. Maybe. It's fine. Hello. You don't know me? I'm here with Ford. He wants you to know he's okay, and he's thinking about you. Where can he find you?
Okay.
Is Ford your real name? Is he gonna know what Ford is?
Are you here?
No, I'm Sam Riegel right here. I'm an avid viewer of the show. I love it. Audience at this table.
He's looking up a lot of stuff right now.
I know.
Sorry.
It's quite big.
Hitting the dock.
That's a big bump on the story.
Yeah. The moment passes before kind of a gravelly voice comes through and goes, "You said you know Ford." Haven't heard that name in a while. Glad he's doing well. Let him know I'm okay. Retired on an island. Good folks. He'd like them. And that's it.
Did he say at the end he'd like them, or
He'd like it.
he'd like it? I repeat everything I just heard.
Sounds like he's okay.
He retired to an island?
God, I've been so I feel like I need to find him, and I just don't know if it's that important to him. I don't know if it's important to me. We've done so much.
Yeah, but I mean, the way you talked about him, I mean, if you need to find him, then you need to find him.
I feel like I need to find him because I feel like I owe him. But if he doesn't feel that way, it might just be in my head.
You know, messages are hard because you can't see the person's face. It did take him quite a while to respond.
Right.
For all he knows, I could be somebody bad and just trying to get a response out of him. He might not want to reveal too much.
Sure, he was smart like that. Thank you. It's been a long time. I just don't know if what I wanted before is the same thing I want now.
How are you doing? You seemed really quiet when we were in Nicodranas. You stood in the ocean and you didn't say anything.
I feel like we've all changed.
Yeah.
Me especially. He's such a brave man, and he did so much for me. I just wanted to emulate that.
I know.
Repay that. Pay it forward. I don't know. I feel like I've been so obsessed with this sword and how I got it and Grotto and the whole thing, and I just feel like there's more out there. It's always more. Like even Port Tamale and before that, my world just got bigger and bigger and bigger, and the more time goes on, the more you realize there is, and the more that we affect, and the more we can be affected. And there's a part of me that wants to leave it all behind.
And just go somewhere quiet and disappear and hope that it never bothers you again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that.
I just don't think it'll let me. feel like I'm trying to force something that's not going to happen on its own.
Do you feel scared when you think of Ukatoa?
I try not to think of Ukatoa.
I mean, that's where your magical powers came from, yeah?
Yeah.
You can't escape that.
They left for a little bit.
What?
There was a night I woke up and the sword was on the floor and I couldn't do anything.
When was that?
A while ago.
Ford, why didn't you say anything?
I didn't know what to do.
But it came back.
In the middle of the day, we were setting that ambush and Yasha was getting those bracers made and they came back after a little bit, but I didn't know if I was going to run or what.
How did you feel when they were gone?
Terrified.
Did you want them back?
Yes.
Would you do anything to get them back?
No. No, but I feel like I knew what I was doing and I realize I have no idea.
You're not the only one.
Yeah. Thank you. It might have been just the check-in I needed.
I wish I could be of more help, though.
No, you have been. I've known you the longest in this.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just hard figuring out who you should be instead of who you want to be.
Maybe, I mean, the Traveler gave me my powers. Maybe if you don't follow Ukatoa, you could follow the Traveler or someone else who could give you powers that are even better.
How do you feel about Caduceus's deity, the Wild
Mother?
Yeah, Melora.
I mean, I saw her when I was bringing Caduceus back.
You did?
She popped in for a second. She seemed pretty nice, and she brought him back from the dead. I mean, that's always a good thing. That's really powerful stuff.
Yeah.
He talks to her a lot. Not as much as I talk to the Traveler, you know. Because the Traveler's always got my back and stuff.
Yeah.
But, I mean, as far as other gods go, she's a pretty good one.
Okay. I'm gonna see if she'll take an interest. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know how it works.
I don't either. We should figure this out. This is our new mission.
This is?
Yeah, remember, originally we were just trying to get you to that stupid academy. That place was stupid. I hate that place.
I don't mind having a new mission, but if it is, can we just not, tell everybody that
We won't tell everybody, but you and I will know this is our new mission.
Okay.
I will do anything to get you away from Ukatoa, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for talking to me, Ford.
Yeah.
Your tusks look pretty good coming in, by the way.
All right.
All right. You guys separating, go off to bed?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a thing, but it depends on if Caleb's betting on his own, or if Caleb and Nod are paired up again. I don't know what this place has to offer for sleeping.
You guys are. They don't have a lot of room. So the chamber that you have, given for the evening, is the main chamber where Tyla and her husband, who's currently off in Uthadurn, normally stay in. So you're all in one central room.
Okay. So now I'm going to go into a corner, seeing people doing their own things, and face the corner, and put Frumpkin on the ground in front of me. Keep me company. And then I'm going to spend the next hour taking everything, not my clothes, but taking things off, and opening bags. And making little, very specific, orderly rows of a small pouch of iron dust and the honey sickle, and I take that leather thong that I wear around my thigh and place that down, and the pearl and the catmint and all of my different things, but in very, very specific rows. And the glove comes off, and I set that down and I unroll a long leather, just a strip of leather, so that it's not on the ground; it's laid out on this, and everything, all my bits and pieces come away, except I do rub my hand under the chain that has been around my neck for 5.5 to 6 years, and I leave that on, and. I take out my spell book and flip through every page and just glance at it for about 5 seconds each. And set that down and leave it closed. And then I take out the other book and I write for about 20 minutes in it. And then I sit and don't move for 5 to 10 minutes. And then I spend the next 10 to 15 gathering things slowly, putting them back now that I have taken stock. Glove back on, everything back in the bag. 1 book, 2 book. Pull the chain a little bit. Stare at Frumpkin for a minute. You're a good cat.
Dead.
And I just stare into the corner of the room for another 3 or 4 minutes. Okay. And then I go to bed.
Okay. Everyone find themselves to rest?
I'm going to spend some time. I'm going to walk every hall I can get into very quietly. See everything there is to see, touch everything there is to touch. And
it's unique. You recognize a lot of the iconography of Morden the Allhammer, but there are many strong traces of Melora's presence here. As well as elements of the Raven Queen also woven throughout. This is a kind of conjoined quest given by and tethered through a number of these entities.
I'll find my way to bed, finish in the morning.
Okay. All right. You all eventually come to sleep. Evening of comfort finds you. In the dark calm of your evening sleep. Forward.
Not me. I'm talking to everybody, right?
The ghost of Abantika's there for seconds.
Oh my god.
He hears these things.
Don't have your politaire.
You wake up on a beach. You can hear the waves crashing, but it's night. The moon high in the sky around, full, the singular beacon of white light above, the stars kind of twinkling above. It's peaceful. And while you're conscious of it, and it's familiar, and it's just a dream. And you watch as the stars begin to blink out. You look up and you can see them twinkling, different variations in brightness, one by one, plucked out of the sky by darkness. In that full moon, you watch as the dark orb of shadow begin to take it from one side to the next. The singular source of light left beginning to leave you in complete shadow. As you begin to panic and feel your heart beating into your throat, you dig your fingers into the sand, your toes in, and stand up just as the last bit of light plucks away. And what disturbs you is you're comfortable in the dark, but there is no placement of sight around you than but 5 feet of the beach, an ocean before you. You can watch the waves kind of and pull away out of sight. And you feel to the right of you a heavy, and feel a spray of sand from one side onto the opposite side. Another spray. And you start to back up. And as you begin to back away, you feel the tendrils catch you from behind and wrap and curl around one shoulder and this around your torso and constrict, not to pain, but to the point of immobility. Where the moon was in the sky, the shadow pulls back, but instead of a white moon, a yellow one. And as it tears away, the singular familiar dark slit staring down upon you pulls you closer towards its light.
Don't run. Find. Take. Consume.
And you sense below the eye, the sky begins to tear loudly. The streaking, thunderous noise as you see a mouth pull across the endless abyss and open, and the tendrils draw you towards it.
Return. Or consume.
As it pulls you into the dark expanse of the mouth, the jaws clamp around you, your body suddenly crushed with an instant universal pain of your physical form being snuffed into paste, and in that minute, wake up once more. You have no idea what time it is. The rest of your companions around you, asleep, yourself washed with sweat, breathing heavy.
Do I see the sword?
You don't see it at the moment.
Can I summon it?
Nothing.
Come on. I sit up. I start looking for it a bit more.
You glance
frantically.
over, and about 4 feet from you, it is resting right next to where Beauregard is currently curled up.
Unsheathed.
Unsheathed?
I will pick it up, and I will walk a little bit away from the group.
Okay, make a stealth check.
Natural 20.
Without issue, you gingerly grasp your weapon and sneak your way out of the chamber into the hallway.
I will look at the sword.
You can see the dull orange glow that emanates from the not too distant underforge, and the magma pool beneath it, kind of slightly lighting the outside of your face against the reflective blade.
Yeah.
Yes. I will walk towards the pool of magma. As close as I can get.
Okay, you step out and you can see sitting in the same chair where you first met Jeremis Dust. She is sat there, slumped forward and asleep, kind of shoulder placed against the small table to her side where the whittling tools are, unaware of your presence.
I will take the sword and hold it against my chest. And I will say, you need me more than I need you. Give it back. Does anything happen?
Make an intimidation check.
Against a titan. 23.
Ooh. Charisma. Nothing seems to happen.
I push it into my chest.
How far in?
A few inches, maybe an inch.
Okay, so a few inches? Or
Yeah, let's go. Let's say an inch. See what happens.
The pain rocks through your body. And as you press in, your muscles tense around it, your chest contracts, and you feel the white, hot, sharp pain up through your body and into the base of your skull. And you press it in, you can already feel the blood beginning to trickle from the wound.
I'll take one step towards the pool of magma and I'll push it in a little further.
Okay. You push in another inch or so. So you've taken 9 points of, I'll say for this piercing damage, even though it is a slashing weapon, but it's being utilized in a piercing fashion.
PPE.
As you now step.
How close are you to the lava?
You're now like maybe a foot from the edge of it.
Probably almost taking damage from that.
Make another intimidation check if you'd like.
Oh boy.
13.
13. No response. No reaction. The heat is burning onto the edge of your skin. Not, painfully so, but you definitely can feel the proximity.
One more step. One more push.
You are now at the edge of it. You push in further, okay.
Oh, Jesus. Don't pass out next to lava. Please.
Okay. That is
whatever
19 points of piercing damage upon yourself. At this point, as you're pulling it there, how close are you standing to the edge? Are you just like outside of the wall or up against it?
Outside of it.
All right, you're standing right there. It's plunged now. It's 3rd inch in, and that's fairly deep into your chest, and you can already feel the worry. Amongst as your willpower is there at the moment in the back of your mind. You're like, I'm getting close to vitals.
Mm-hmm.
Make another intimidation check.
Oh my god.
22. No response.
I take the sword out.
Okay.
I hold it over the pool.
All right, you withdraw, and with that, it was like a gout of your own viscera kind of splatters across the exterior of the wall, and begins to immediately sizzle and smoke.
Don't know how long I can hold this.
As the blood drips from the blade into the magma, the steam and smoke that arises from the burning of your own blood across the immediate, extremely hot surface kind of sends up tufts of smoke. And the stream gets more consistent as the smoke billows more and more and more and kind of begins to fill the space around you. The dark smoke beginning to swirl around your shoulders and around the weapon until suddenly the light begins to be choked around you. The warm, bright underglow of the light and fire begins to vanish as you find yourself surrounded in this cloud of smoke born from your own burning blood. In that moment, the pain still there throbbing in your chest numbs ever so slightly. And there in the smoke around the blade, your hand shaking, still stalwart and strong. A calmness comes across you. What do you do?
I'll pull the blade back and throw it.
Into the...
It disappears through the smoke. You hear the smoke dissipates in the direction of where you threw it about a moment later. And there you can see it resting and slowly sinking into the molten rock.
I'll take a step back. Does it disappear under the...
If you wait a few moments, it probably will.
I'll put my hand over the wound. Is it still pouring?
It is still bleeding, but not as profusely as it was when you withdrew the blade.
I'll wander over to the group and wake up Caduceus.
Okay. Caduceus, you come to consciousness, being somewhat gently woken by Ford, who's currently clutching what is very easy to see, an open wound in the chest and a very bloodied hand over it.
I need your help.
Don't even, I'm not even gonna, I'm gonna put a hand on and heal that right now. I'm not even gonna ask. Let's do that at let's do a cure wounds at you really effed yourself up, didn't you? Let's just do level 4 cure wounds to say we did. Let's just get this out of the way.
Okay.
11, 17, 18, 19, 24 hit points back immediately. Just boom.
Thank you.
Do you wanna?
I need to sit down.
Why don't we? I'm gonna pick him up and I'm gonna take him out of the room with all the sleeping people.
Okay.
To whatever passes for fresh air.
Fresh air would be. It's
a bit of a ways.
It's well decided. Like you have to probably get close to the exit, but even there's the smoke above.
Fresher air.
One of the side chambers, or on the floor around the underforge.
Whatever's private and emotionally
you find one of the small storage chambers off to the side.
So, how did that happen?
I threw the sword into the liquid rock.
Your sword?
Yes.
Why?
I don't like being a hostage.
How do you feel?
I honestly don't know. That sword was all I had.
Well, I assure you that's not true. Let's, God, I haven't regained my spells yet. So what am I going to do? I would like to,
Thank you.
For what? I'm at a loss. I don't...
Just for being you and coming from where you have and sharing what you know. I'm inspired by you.
For what it's worth, those words alone make me feel like leaving my home and going on this journey was entirely worthwhile. I think I've said it before. I think there are great things ahead of you. I can't imagine you threw your sword and show me where.
In the pool. I could show you.
Please.
I'll take him over to where it was.
Okay, it's no longer there. At your perceptive glance, you do see kind of.
It would leave a.
You do see what looked to be maybe elements of melted metal.
I'm going to do a detect magic. Just to see if there's a glimmer of it.
Right. The direction of the weapon, no. The anvil that sits atop the Underforge is quite magical, as well as a number of the implements that dangle from the chains around it. But from the direction of where this weapon was thrown, no.
Magical weapon wouldn't melt.
I mean, it shouldn't.
So. I think you've made a good first step. I don't think you're free yet.
What do you mean? It's in the liquid rock. Nothing could. What do you mean?
Meaning this creature, this thing that has a hold on you, this thing that's gotten into you. You describe it as I don't know, something deep sea, something like a squid-like eye.
Many eyes. One giant eye, but more like a serpent. It's always in darkness.
I'll say you did a good. I can't imagine the battle you won tonight. Unlatching yourself from one tentacled grip of this thing, whatever this thing is that you're fighting.
Caduceus, I may be a liability now.
I entirely disagree. I think you're quite the asset. I think we're going to need you. I think if you were a liability, this thing wouldn't be fighting so hard to keep you. I think you're valuable. And I think that there are powers at play that know it.
Well, let's hope we have an extra sword in the bag somewhere. Yes.
I think we're going to have one soon. In the meantime, we'll give you something to make do with. And again, if this thing never met a creature with one tentacle.
Thank you. I'll go wander over and try to sleep.
Okay. As you wander past the Underforge and glancing in the direction of where the sword was thrown, you look up towards the anvil, and there on the front cusp of it, you can see chiseled into the metal what looks to be a wreath of grain and branch and berry, and across the back of it what looks to be a tall crook placed behind it. And something about it just kind of just draws your attention.
You're not finished with this fight yet, Ford. I think you're going to find your way to the light, though. I'm glad you can see it. Means you're close to the exit.
We'll see where the exit leads.
Yeah. Let's get some sleep. We've got a journey to find you a sword tomorrow.
Sure.
Night, Ford.
Good night.
Was the thing on the anvil, was that etched into the anvil, the crook thing?
Etched into it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool, that's cool, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
For that.
What did I do?
Something real cool.
Something
Fucking no.
something that Percy never pulled off, motherfucker. you just out Percy'd Percy. Well done.
You eventually, you curl up in the corner, the exhaustion not overtaken by the immensity and worry of what has transpired, but eventually you do find rest. You find very comfortable rest.
Man.
Says something in Warlock.
The morning comes.
Okay, long rest.
Are you a wild lock now?
You welcome to consciousness in the chamber. The warm, dull glow of the forge greets you at whatever hour it may be. You would be the only one that has any idea. And since rest probably, it's probably bedded down closer to midnight, so it's like 8, 9 in the morning.
Woo! What's for breakfast?
I honestly don't know what we eat around here, but I'm happy to help cook if that helps.
What a night, huh?
Good sleep.
Yeah, I
good
got some
warm
pretty good
sleep.
rest, yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Best sleep in ages.
Well, what are we doing today?
I think we're making our way.
Downtown.
Downtown?
I'd like to make sure that the records show that we were here and that they can find us in the episode, to find the tree, to go find the house. If any other members of the Clay family wander their way up there.
All right. Tyler gladly accepts it. Don't worry. I'll go ahead and make sure in our books here this is taken care of.
And of course, if you ever need anything, you're welcome. If for some reason you find you have to leave this place. I think we're going to be returning rather soon anyway.
Well, great. Look forward to seeing you come back then.
Do you guys have any breakfast stuff here?
We could probably muster something, right? Looks back towards Kendall, who you could see as stretched racks, like this metal rack set, where there looks like squirrels and other woodland critters have been skinned and stretched across it. Is currently holding it over the forge, kind of like just burning it in the morning. I mean, right, if you're hungry, I could put a few on.
Yeah. I mean, do you have any, like, pastries or anything?
No.
Would you like a bead of nourishment? A bead?
Wait.
Ooh, how big is the bead?
It's the size of a boba.
No, I don't have enough, damn.
A boba bead. Mm-hmm. Astronaut food. That's enough for a day, though. So if you eat the whole
I'll
thing,
take a nibble.
skip lunch. Okay.
I don't have enough supplies to bake right now, do I?
No.
Okay, because holy pizza.
You could upon your return
Holy
from
pizza could be
Uthodurn.
amazing. I think I'm going to have to get some baking supplies.
You could definitely
because if
try
you have
that.
a kiln, I mean,
It's true. You can make like those little
bread of the goddess.
Yeah, the ground ovens.
Light sweet.
Be sick.
Almost nothing. I'll have some
technically
squirrel
would be a
bacon.
clay oven.
Sure enough.
Fort, do you want some of my
it's
bead?
happening.
Yes, please.
I'll have a bit of that too if you want.
Can I take one of those
Can you pass
skewers
the bead
to go?
around?
Toss it up.
Think you have something caught in your throat, Ford? Something's like a little bubble.
No, Ford, you're not doing it. You forgot.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Are you trying to convince somebody of something again?
I'm sorry to all of you. You caught on, and you've known me the longest. I haven't been entirely forthright with you. I sound like this.
Well, yeah, I know.
I know you know.
What do you mean? Sometimes? All the time? Really?
Most of my life, yes, like this.
What was that other thing you were doing?
He was Vanderen.
What do you mean he was Vanderen?
My captain, Vandren, was a man of great renown and respect, and I wanted to emulate him. I wanted to be him.
So you were talking like him?
Yes.
Well, I liked it. I thought it was fun.
It was charming.
I had a night, Caduceus will tell you, had another dream, not, I'm sure you'll be thrilled. I am swordless today.
Like you can't summon it or something?
No, and I'll try and summon it.
Nothing happens.
I threw the sword into the liquid steel last night.
Why?
It was valuable, wasn't it? Yes.
I thought you loved that sword.
Were you just over it, or?
I talked to Jester just before we went to bed, and I said I felt like a change was needed, and I didn't like being a pawn or a puppet, and I didn't know where it was going to lead, and also if that's the last key before this thing is unleashed, why not just destroy the fucking key? So I threw it in.
Do you still feel like you have the balls inside you? Or are those gone too?
Well, let's see, and I will try to make myself look like Caleb.
Nothing.
What are you trying to do?
Let out a fart. No.
You're powerless?
I think so.
Nonsense. He's not powerless. He's just discovered a new power.
It happened once before. I was having dreams of Grotto commanding me to return and to do things, and I can't do that.
But you said it came back before.
It did. That was also without throwing the sword into a pool of lava, but yeah.
He's gonna be really pissed.
real
at you
mad.
for it.
Wait a second. So you're weaker than before now?
Considerably, I
But
would
do
imagine.
you feel better?
I feel... I don't know.
Do you feel pure, free,
I feel
cleansed?
different. I feel less weight and at the same time a bit less valuable, rare, different, all of those things. And I know what you're going to say. I know that you would disagree, but I enjoyed the abilities that I had.
Yeah, no. Abilities are dope.
Yeah.
You've done something almost nobody here has done. You changed. That's amazing.
May I ask a question? Why the choice to drop the accent?
Was it tied to the sword?
Or did you just feel the events coincided?
Everywhere Vandren went, he was heralded as a leader, respected. People quieted when he spoke without raising his voice. That was never quite the case when I talked. It was different. And the first time I adopted that speech and changed the way that I looked, everyone listened. Everyone was quiet. That felt better. So I figured, no, Vandren might as well fill that void. Maybe it would suit me, serve me. I think it did, for a while. Justice sent a message for me last night. Vandren seems to be just fine, not looking for me or searching out anything on his own. He seems to be at peace. That is not how I felt. I don't feel at peace. That seems wrong. If what we had was the key to a great horror, evil
burying it, hiding it. I think this thing would just point the next poor bloke that falls into the ocean in its direction, and he would or she would find it. So, lava, right?
All your powers came from that sword?
But let's find out.
I didn't have any before them.
Put your hand out. Pull off the glove of blasting, and I start to pull it on. It's not an attunement. Open. Yeah. Aim at the lava.
Are any of the dusts awake?
Yes, they've been cooking stretched woodland.
All right.
critter,
Yes. Right. They're making breakfast. Do you mind if I just?
At this point, Jeremis turns and goes,
Just if you don't mind not, causing a huge racket or setting us all on fire, maybe.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Do you have like a wall that's less important? It could take a little bit of, like a little
outside.
That's fair.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's go punch a mountain.
Well, don't punch him.
Walk out the tunnel just a little bit and
Throw
see if
some
I can
fire.
just shoot out the tunnel.
The rays extend and blast into the side of the mountain.
That's the glove.
Well, but it's on your hand, so you hold on to that. Where's that whip?
Here?
Yeah. You have things that are more useful than this, but for now.
I mean, you can also have my axe.
Here, take this dagger.
I have a shield as well. if you like.
Here.
The whip, yeah.
I give him the whip and the axe.
Oh no.
To outfit you.
Caduceus, did you have that volleyball sword?
No, he
having that.
you ate it.
He ate it.
I ate it.
That's right.
I do have a shield, though.
This is more than enough.
It's
Please.
really not. You're very weak.
Okay. No, I appreciate it. I really do.
I don't have anything to give you other than drugs.
I don't need any drugs.
It could actually maybe like
if you do enough drugs, you'll think you're magic.
Exactly. Maybe it'll open something.
Well,
That's the whip.
You have also talked us out of a good number of scrapes, and that has nothing to do with any sword or ball or what have you.
Sword, glove, what's the difference at the moment?
I don't think there's anything wrong with utilizing tools to help get you where you are, and maybe you're just at a place now where you don't need those things.
perhaps. But you have saved my skin, and I will be here if I can to save yours.
Well,
Second mate.
Captain.
So, enough about me. Let's go
Find
to
you
a
a
city
sword.
where elves and dwarves mingle, shall we?
Before we go, can I just, out of morbid curiosity, could
If you make a comment about my strength, I might throw you in the lava.
You couldn't, but. But
we have a fire extinguisher in the studio. I'm on fire.
Could you just because I'm curious, how would you say the words that are spelled ELDRIGEBLAST? How would you pronounce that? How would you say those words?
Eldritch Blast.
Blast, no! Well, hell. I missed the old way you said it.
Oh, nice.
Eldritch Blast.
Yeah, that's better. You just sort of you drew it out a little
You do know
longer, though.
I can't do it though, right? I
The blast?
Yeah.
But you could say it the way I like it.
Just for you.
Okay.
And you are very good with accents.
I'm okay.
That's a skill.
Some are better.
What else you got? Maybe later.
Since you're using your fake accent as your real accent, and then your real accent as your fake accent when you talk to people, does that mean you're gonna like switch it up now, and we're gonna like hear old school Ford, or I guess technically like middle Ford before we knew Ford, and then we got the Ford.
Should we go?
Yeah, let's go.
Wake and bake.
gathered your things, heading off. It seems the snowstorm has passed through the night and instead has left this valley just completely packed with fresh white powder. Still a gray sky ahead with little breaks of blue visible, but it seems like travel for this next day is going to be a little more comfortable than what met you as you arrived at Kravaraad. Looking at the map before you and about the day or so of travel you have through the mountains or further, depending on the paths you take, you begin your trek towards the city of Uthadurn within the Floodcat Alps. And that's what we'll go ahead and
God damn, Travis. God damn.
Now you're a liability.
Hell.
Well, hell.
That was some stones, motherfucker.
Yeah!
That was some stones.
I had no idea where you were going to take that, and I was like, oh shit!
Nope, maybe
Leader of the fucking pack.
Wow. I was about to take it back, and then.
that was great.
No.
No.
Now you just have to go find magic.
Yeah.
Magic
gonna be
powers
fine.
again.
We just gotta
somehow.
Just gotta get him some powers.
We got it. We got it. We're ready.
I have no idea.
We need that wild mother.
We need that fucking sword. Maybe the new sword will give him more
Yeah,
new powers.
exactly. Maybe it'll be like a wild
Is that how it
mother
works? You got
connective
You got
device.
powers from the last sword. Maybe this sword. Well, I don't know.
Are you gonna turn into a cleric?
Is it like spin the bottle, we put the sword on the ground and spin it and see what class it
And then you
lands
gotta
on, and
make
that's
out
what
with
you are
whatever
now?
sword lands on the.
That's the last character.
Wow. Oh, that's true. Sorry.
So many questions. Maybe you'll become a paladin.
Maybe you'll just pray.
Maybe this is just a weird dating sim.
It could be. We'll find out where it goes next week on Friday evening at our live show at Gen Con. 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll see you guys then. In the meantime, have a wonderful week. We love you very much. And is it Thursday? Friday yet?
Is it Gen Con yet?
Oh, God. Fuck me up. Goodbye.